last episode is an X-rated cover.
And we aren't doing that.
And a European penny.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Crabby D&D. I am here with Kat,
Hi.
Damian,
Greetings.
Kirv,
Hello.
Romulus,
Hello.
and Vinny.
Hello.
You'll be getting a Mortar later. I'm currently out at dinner, and he should be back in about an hour, but not entirely sure. Things may be delayed. But yes, so we are back. And I think the only announcement that I have to say is this will be Damian's last episode, as Jamie will be making the last bits of headway for heading back out to New Zealand. You will be very much missed. But at some point in the future, we will be getting the person who will be taking his slot in this campaign. We'll have to see how that goes.
Woo.
You will be being replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I'll be upgraded.
I've seen how he plays.
Well, as long as the new player doesn't constantly try and shove apples in Cat's face, we should be fine.
It's not
I
as
need to
bad
have a
as
chat with
it's
Steve.
not as bad as Dan, but there are similarities.
It's where Dan gets his playstyle from.
Oh no, he gets his play stuff from Dan. Also, hi Dan,
Oh.
if you're watching this back, I didn't mean that in a mean way, but you know what I mean.
Hang on,
You play
hang on.
risky and then you target me because I'm sensible in your D&D. Anyway, I'm a menace for a reason.
I
So,
really need to fireball Damian this session.
Ooh.
well, you're on the clock. So,
Damn.
let us get back into this. Good to see you all here. Now, let us begin this research adventure, shall we? By recapping what happened. Last session, our party of adventurers, Kat, Damian, Kirv, Mortar, Romulus, and Vinny, had made it back to Ovok'Gro, passing by no further hostility despite the awful weather. They arrived and rested within the left rib once more, taking their time to chat and discuss their next steps. And just what they would do next. With a long rest under their belt, let's hope your minds are back to it. As you wake within the warm environment and the safety of the within the safety of the city, you take this time to prepare yourselves for the day ahead. You see the heavy blizzard is still raging outside past the glass windows and doors that otherwise look to the outside world. You otherwise all slowly but surely wake up and pile down the stairs one by one for a otherwise hearty breakfast, getting ready for the day ahead. Those of you with frostbite or fatigue, please reduce it by 3, for those of you who have it, as a result of completing a long rest within the city walls.
How much
Of
did bed and
frostbite.
board cost?
It's all paid for.
Oh,
It's all been paid for. Yeah. For the day's stuff, it's all been paid for, and then the next day and the few days after that will cost, but we'll get to that when we get to that, if you stay within the city.
Briss, could I get a... Sorry, so that was 3 points of frostbite removed?
Yes, so if you're now at 0, you
means
can
I have 1. So what are the effects of that?
just a -2 to your martial ability checks.
Martial? Physical.
Physical, yeah.
Okay. Thank
Man, you got tanked hard by the
I
ice.
did.
Those
did.
last 2 days hit her hard.
Jeez.
Okay. So, with that, you're all downstairs with your various arrays of breakfast. What would you like to do or discuss?
I'm eating my food, and you notice right next to Cat on the table, but constantly going everywhere she goes, the diamond that was going to be used for Revivify, but looks different. It's got runes on it now. Just flying around. I'm eating my breakfast. So,
What did you do to it?
Play with gems on the table.
Oh, Cat, be careful. Someone's grabbed your diamond again.
no. Yeah, I don't know how this has happened. You know the dragon that the Commander General was flying on?
I
I'm
guess.
familiar with him.
I kind of rescued his soul. He kind of lives in here now.
Okay. Do you have any plans for what you're going to do with that? Because I'd imagine we now can't really use that to revivify things.
No, I need to get a replacement diamond at some point. But
Wait,
we're friends, and he wants to help us.
which soul? Doesn't he have 4 souls?
So we're in a restaurant. If fireball
No,
happens,
we're at
what's
the-
the
You're in the left rib.
Okay, so it's a confined space still, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so fireball would be bad here.
Don't get me wrong. Using a fireball against members of the party is always a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I've got some dragon bits and also a big giant tooth, and we now have a dragon soul in a gem. I'm just saying, we could definitely do something funky here.
Wait, do you have the giant tooth on you still?
We've not discussed getting rid of it, I don't believe.
No, just it
unless-
was the reason that it was causing problems because it was a massive tooth. So carrying it around it wasn't a matter of weight.
Oh,
It was a
no, I
matter of
think
it being stupid. So you left it somewhere or you carved it into something.
I think what we agreed was it was. Oh God, what did we end up doing with it?
Was it put in the Iron Bank?
It might have been put in the Iron Bank.
Okay.
How much did it cost to put it in the Iron Bank? More
Do you know?
importantly, how much will it cost to get it out of the Iron Bank?
Same that it cost to put it in. If you have the value of it, I
Sure.
can tell you that. But if you don't, then it will be a off the cuff kind of thing.
Oh, was this the one from?
From Max.
Oh, yeah, that went in, and that was the same time I put the blood crystals in. So that is in the bank.
Okay,
And
fair.
I think you paid 5 gold?
I see.
Yeah. So it'll take about 5 gold to get it back out again.
Cool.
Right. Your new dragon friend. He's not mad at us for killing him, is he?
No, he didn't seem mad. But at some point when we go outside, I believe I can manifest a body for him and might be able to talk.
Oh, cool.
Intimidating, but
He seemed fine. He agreed to helping, and he's agreed to be my friend.
Fair
all right.
enough.
Well, if you trust him, that's good enough for me.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, alright, what should we do first? Go straight to the library and get this information? And then we can make our decision from there, what we want to do.
We'll know if we get an idea of where we're looking to go. We'll know what supplies we need to stock up on.
Mm-hmm.
All that. I'm also kind of keen to start honing in on a location.
Yeah.
I think the Scriptorium should help with that. Hopefully.
Yeah, that was the
Hopefully.
plan with there.
I mean, Carverne seemed fine the last time we messaged her, but it's been a while since then.
I mean, I can message again if you'd like. It would take me a little bit of time, but I can send another message, though.
There's
Again,
also the
there's
risk.
a chance it'll be
Yeah.
intercepted.
Yeah, if they keep having to intercept multiple messages, they might decide to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Always disguise the message a bit. Something that she would understand, but they wouldn't. It was a her, right? I'm getting gender right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we discussed.
Well, Thieves' Cant is a thing, but
Oh, I was
well, I
meaning
use
like
it sometimes, but
information that only she would understand as a message.
not a bad idea. What do you have in mind?
Well, something that only you and her would know that would sort of be reassuring for her, like we're close by and we're coming, but not that obvious.
That sounds terrifying, actually. If I just received a message saying we're close by, we're coming, I would be terrified.
But that's just me.
The other thing is that we don't know. I mean, if this person is got the person or your friend hostage, if they're a powerful caster, what's to say they weren't the ones that manipulated the people locally in the other town? If we keep pushing and saying, "Oh, we're coming, we're doing this," that might force their hands to do something preemptive.
It's a good point. In any case, messaging her again might be a trick that you only get to use a couple of times. So I want to wait until we know a little more.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll do that after we visited the Scriptorium. That makes sense.
We'll start there. I'll figure out whatever I can. Now that you've all seen the robes that those people were wearing, hopefully you'll be able to recognize them if you come across them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they mean or how significant they are, but I don't know.
Well, I guess this is why we're looking for answers.
Yeah, I guess so. I have to say, running around in a library is not usually my style.
Is that because the books tend to be on chains?
You're not suggesting I would steal them, are you? How dare you?
No, I wouldn't steal them. I'd read them.
Well, it's not the security on the books themselves I'm worried about. It's the guards at the door. This place seems pretty concerned about keeping what they've got locked up.
Yeah, it's true.
But if it's attached by a chain, you can't steal it.
Failing that, I mean, I don't know. You seem, when we were trying to find information about other bits and pieces, you were pretty good at finding people and getting answers. Do you know if there's anything like that around here potentially? I mean, we don't all have to go to the library if we don't need to.
Even if it's not my expertise, I do want to go and help out, but there might be somewhere else I could try as well. With the city's still under siege from this blizzard, I guess people will be just meeting out. If there's other travelers or adventurers in the city, maybe some of them might have nothing better to do than hang out in taverns and such.
Yeah, and possibly even see if there's like a pioneers guild or something around here. I mean, they have a pretty established understanding of the area and its acres, so
It's a good idea, yeah. I'd say let's start with the Scriptorium, though. We might just find exactly what we're looking for there. We don't know.
True.
And presumably you guys, this is out of character, you guys didn't pop by anybody and actually, like talk to them, because of course that's why we were sent on the mission, to get the information on the chapel things. Correct?
Yeah, I was pretty out of it the first day we arrived here.
Yeah,
then we got the mission, so...
Is that right, guys?
We We didn't get any information. Basically,
No.
we tried. He wouldn't give it to us, and the only reason why he's agreed to give it to us is because of your general, your leader. And then he said, "Fine, I'll let you have the information, but you've got to do a task for me first."
Yeah. So we got to kind of report back anyway that we completed.
Yeah.
They know that we've done that, but it was waiting for us to get back. Yeah.
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 So we should
Hindsight
probably-
makes it feel more and more like a suicide mission,
yeah.
especially given that one of us literally died.
Yeah, one of us. Yeah.
Wait, did I die?
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, I did. Dying's not fun.
No, it's not.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't done it. I got close.
Don't worry, I can fix that for you, big boy.
No, Damian might enjoy that.
You know what? Damian probably would.
Okay, let's go and report in and debrief and see what today leads in regards to information.
Given that, I have to imagine they weren't expecting us to actually succeed. We'll have to tell them what we experienced and then get our payment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. You otherwise... So you're heading out now?
Yes.
Yeah. Unless anyone else has anything else.
No, let's go.
Okay. With the day beginning, you otherwise head to the Scriptorium, not necessarily early hours, as you did arrive late here last night, but you otherwise head over to the Scriptorium. You can see that the front doors are closed, but there are individuals who seemingly are standing on the inside, keeping an eye out for individuals who might come for information or arrive back, or whatever the situation may be. As you otherwise approach the doors, one of them kind of pulls the door open, kind of shielding from what snow they can. You can see there are, throughout the street, there have been plenty of people shoveling snow by the looks of it. Moving into large sections where it seems to be carried off or moved elsewhere, but you're not entirely sure by what process. It is early-ish for these people, and with the heavy blizzard, people aren't going to be out and about a lot. But as you otherwise arrive at the Scriptorium and head inside, you are greeted by not necessarily a warm interior. It is still cold in here, as they don't seem to have any like active braziers or anything that's kind of raising the temperature a lot. But it's sheltered. You head in, you can see the clerk otherwise sat behind the counter, and kind of looks up and seeing all of you. So, you were successful?
Yes.
We're back. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We did it.
That's good,
Like-
good.
The place was under siege, but we managed to get it sorted out.
That's good. I'll go inform the headmaster and see if we can get you that access that you're after.
Thank you.
The clerk otherwise stands up and leaves. Not too long later, as they seem to be not necessarily in a rush, but they don't seem to be trying to pull as much time as they did last time. They wander back out, and you can see the headmaster there, otherwise the tall Eastland Frost elf, wanders up, arms otherwise tucked into sleeves as they step forward. So, you finished the job?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We heard news that it had succeeded. We weren't entirely certain that you would. I mean, the forces were preparing and readying to head out, and you left a few days or almost a week before them. You did well.
We awaited their arrival and made sure that the place was safe for when they arrived.
Yes. I've received communication from them that everything all went smoothly and that you helped as best you could. Shame that one of their number passed on, but sometimes these things cannot be helped. So, you are after information, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What kind of information were you seeking?
Go back up the notes for session 8.
Yeah, let me...
I believe the specific request we made at the time was information about deities.
Temples of fallen gods?
Deities, yeah, temples in the area.
I see. Well then, if you have a full request and there's stuff you wish to look for, I will organize a team real quick, and we will then get on with... or they will get on with aiding you. For now, come through into the main foyer.
Thank you.
And they otherwise wander back through the doors. As they open, you see the interior of the Scriptorium for the first time. Where up to now you have seen a relatively large building, but not entirely sure if there may be adjacent buildings merging with it. You see that it is a large, almost single-roomed library of sorts. You can see that there are books and scrolls covering the walls and several shelves that intersect sections of this. It is relatively cramped, but you can, on first glance, see that there are a lot of sections where there are kind of patches where it's empty, others where it's filled, and you can see that there are maybe 36 scribes currently busy writing stuff down, almost as if recopying information over. As you're otherwise seeing all of this take place, you watch as the headmaster wanders over to a particular section and otherwise reaches a hand into what looks to be a port to one side. And you watch as they pull what looks to be this tiny blue flame out before kind of casting it into the air in front of all of you. And you watch as from it this kind of tall, relatively tall, almost will-o-wisp humanoid-like creature stands there and looks to all of you, producing a relatively bright light. You see that Mortar kind of shies away from it for a little bit, with kind of the intense brightness going through his goggles, but it otherwise provides a decent light. You do not feel any heat radiating off of it. If you could wait here just a moment and I will get some individuals prepared for you. The headmaster steps down the otherwise wooden stairs to the main carpeted floor below and goes over to one of the tables and says something lightly to all of them before they are all kind of begin to close up their tasks, putting bookmarks in locations where it's needed, and begin to pack up their things and head up towards you. Before they arrive, you watch as the headmaster heads over to another room and exits with what look to be otherwise these two large figures by the looks of it, similar to Scribe Wardens, although these individuals seem to wear more what look to be almost heavy metal robes. Not soft robes like you'd usually expect from casters or wizards, but these kind of heavier, denser robes as they wander out and step forward, otherwise carrying these large shields and what looks to be long swords on their sides as they kind of step up and keep a note, otherwise travelling with the headmaster.
Do any of us recognise their outfits or their look?
I would say no. This would not be anything familiar to all of you.
Okay.
As the headmaster otherwise steps over, well, all of you, these will be your two Scribe Wardens who will watch over and make sure that nothing happens, no material is damaged, stolen, or anything else of a similar nature, for precaution's sake. The scribes who are with you will help you read and will otherwise assist in research which you might be looking for, as well as censoring any information that might be irrelevant to what you are searching for. With regards to this place, please do not go casting any magic without prompting, and do not draw your weapons. Doing so may spark some securities, so be careful.
That means you can't fireball me in here.
No, I can't. Can I tell you what languages like? Can I cast Comprehend Languages?
You may. Just make sure that you're letting the scribe know before you are doing it.
Yep, that's fine.
Well then. Good luck with your endeavours, and should you need any further communication or advice or assistance, you're welcome to ask me for help. And the Ishlan Frost Elf otherwise heads off, headmaster leading down to what looks to be kind of the singular solitary chamber compared to the rest of the large open section here. And you can see kind of waiting above it what looks to be this large kind of inky paper creature that seems to be curled up on top of the office, it would seem.
Ah, Chris's version of paperclip from Microsoft Office.
Incredibly dangerous, though. Although then again, clipping was dangerous.
Name is Mickey.
Okay.
It looks like you're trying to uncover the secrets of the Ancient Ones. Do you want some help with that?
You can ask for it. So, those of you who are researching, please go ahead and roll me an investigation check. For those who are assisting, let me know who you will be assisting to provide advantage to. Mortar is also going to be making his own roll, but his investigation isn't that great.
Investigation is a +8.
Investigation.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so Damian and Romulus. I don't believe... Romulus, you had some things you were looking for, I believe. But
I'd be
Damian...
assisting someone.
You'll be assisting someone, okay. Let me double check. Mortar's investigation is -2, so he'll be assisting somebody, and should it get to stuff he wants to know about, when he gets here, we'll go through that when we get there.
Okay.
And Romulus, were you looking something up?
Right, I have. Okay, so I'm contacting my mother is a good idea, regardless of whether or not she can actually assist. So I don't actually need to know whether she can assist with the whole cat thing. The information that's interesting to me at the moment is crafting. I need to be able to turn some of the items we have managed to gather into a weapon that I can use against magic, because I have been, or some sort of defense against magic. I am not capable of defending myself against it, so I must make something that can.
Okay. Okay,
So-
in which case then you'll be making your own investigation check. So, Damian, who do you wish to assist?
I mean, so hang on. What's everybody doing? Because that might actually help me work out who best to assist.
I'm investigating, but this is kind of this is cat in a nutshell. This right here.
Yeah, Vinny's
Okay.
also going to be investigating based on what he thinks the best priorities are.
Probably. I mean, I was already sort of leaning towards. I'd probably be assisting Vinny, I think.
Okay.
Because I've probably got no idea what on earth Cat's going to be looking at, and Romulus actually looking at books makes me terrified. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I'll say...
the rest of us could want to slow a cat down.
That's
Not
fair.
mean I do not have a brain.
Then I'll follow with what Mortar said that he would want to do. He will otherwise assist Cat, if nobody else does. So, Cat, you have advantage. Vinny, you have advantage. Kirv and Romulus, please go ahead and make your investigation checks as well.
Chris, does my researcher thing give me anything
It
for
will.
my background?
It will, yeah.
Just wait, Simon, if you could please.
Yeah. Rolling for
15.
myself first. And then for Harlan.
24.
Okay, we'll go around the table. So.
What did I get?
Uh,
I rolled a 12 for you.
And I've got a +1.
let me
Yay.
get the initiative tracker up on my side so that I can just use that as a measurement of what your scores you got were, so that I don't have to worry about trying to ask for all of them and then remember them. Okay, so Romulus, you got 13, you said? 12 plus 1. Vinny, what did you get?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Cat, you got
24, and I have researcher things. I don't know. If
okay. I'll put an asterisk to that. And Kirv, what did you get?
15.
What was it? Sorry, cut out for the first bit.
15.
15.
1-5.
Okay. So, going through everyone's information and the questions that you have sent me. So, Vinny, you were searching for information on dead gods, abandoned temples, and what religious organizations or cults might be in the area. You otherwise with with a dirty 20.
Ideally trying to home in on. Sorry, go on.
No, that's fine. I think there's just a little bit of delay on Discord.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, just ideally trying to home in on any that match the appearance of the robed individuals.
Yep.
But any information is useful. So.
Okay. Dead gods wise, there are no dead gods, it would seem. No corpses of them, nothing of that nature. You do note, going through research, and this is something which the scribes are helping with in their own way, but at the same time, there's a little bit of censorship in regards to what exactly you're referring to. As you're going through, you discover the following with a dirty 20. There are plenty of dead heralds, there is a dead scion, and there is several harbingers as well that are dead within the local area. The most noteworthy of these is the prime scion of Husk by the name of Camlarx, the otherwise awoken dread. This is the skeleton that looms over Ovok'Gro and is currently frozen within a prison created by the Ice King. You note in the nearby area there are plenty of heralds of Husk, two of whom are most noteworthily named as they have died, but their legacy is still ongoing due to certain influences. These are the Dreadweaver, who is a giant subterranean spider ascendant,
Nice.
and Balkos, a demonic entruster, an individual who otherwise deals with corpse collection, it would seem, and various deals and bargains. The heralds are otherwise mostly go unnamed, although it is noted that they are marked throughout the hillside with nameless graves that have been used as markers for where they were felled. As for abandoned temples and shrines, there are 4 of which that you take main note in. You note that there are probably a good 30 or so in all, but there are 4 of them which strike out to you as the most significant, as they are referred to in relation to the heralds and other bits of information that you may already know. For example, the Andres Tower, which is a tall reverse tower that drills deep into the mountain core itself. It is filled with very old traps and designs that are protected against anything that is not unholy. In other words, all of you, except for maybe Kirv, Cat, and Mortar, may suffer disadvantage here. The location itself often has skirmishes that take place on the top, as the scouts of Ovok'Gro and Glasson, the capital of the Ice King's domain, are constantly at fighting length with the undead forces that otherwise reside out of Shadewalker Keep, somewhere that was mentioned to you when you were discussing potentially taking out the source of the undead. The Shadewalker Keep is otherwise a massive fortress. Notably, you find out that it is built of builder's stone. If you remember, Zaker's Crossing and Monolith are made of builder's stone. This means that they will be immutable to magic, They are going to be impossible to traverse, and they cannot be destroyed. Seems like this fortress was designed to withstand attacks from all sides and all angles, both within, outside, above, and below. The stronghold itself, looking at it, there used to once be perfect blueprints. Looking through the information, the scribes help you with what you can, but you don't find any specific blueprints of the location. Only that this place is massive and can hold anywhere between 1,000 to 20,000 troops at a time.
Yep, that's somewhere that a party of 6 can take on.
Yeah.
I will win.
Looking at
$1,000,000%.
yeah, looking at other information you find, Damian picks out this one more specifically as Damian is helping go through things, as you find mention of a monastery by the name of Kramdos Monastery. A large twin-layered monastery that was otherwise desecrated and seems to have a gateway to the abyss. Currently under watch by 3 relic knights, a horde of trained martial abbots, and several squads of guards of Rime Wardens.
That
Hell of a
sounds
lineup.
terrifying.
Yes. Yeah. You take note of this, and you know that Relic Knights don't typically roam too far outside of the Alliance, which suggests that this is a very dangerous place for there to be 3 Relic Knights there. But with that in mind, you have that as part of your repertoire of information, finding old ruins and shrines, temples, and finally you find something about a village called Zif. Zif is otherwise a small village that was abandoned and left to disrepair, but there is notably old temples that used to be that were once worshipped at by the residents of the land before the War of Seeking, and the temples themselves otherwise resided on the mountainsides. They have been abandoned and have long seen no activity in them. Scouts have gone through, and you can see the most recent notes are relatively recently. Otherwise, there are plenty of other locations that are marked on this map that could be of interest, but you aren't certain where you might want to start. Unfortunately, there looks to be a lot of them. But there's a large cluster of them to what looks to be the southeast of here. Not southeast. Southwest, sorry. Almost directly south of Nimboro.
Yeah, almost.
The other information you find, there don't seem to be any religious orders or cults that really hold much precedent around here. Religion isn't heavy this far south, and it seems that the only cults that do exist are that of undead military that seem to be under someone or something's control, still working to try and pry their otherwise frozen scion free. But other than that, you find no other information on any religious activity. Next in my order of questions that I received, Kirv, you got a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for creatures that otherwise reside from hell. You go through and you find that there are several devils that you already know about, several resident creatures, you already know about these. How there seems to be Mythica that there is a rumour that most crows or all crows come from hell. You can't think why people would have this assumption, and the book seems to have evidence which seems disbelieving, and you know the real reasons not to be that. But still. You know that not all crows are connected, but most of them are. The only other, you find very little on hellgeese, however. There is very little mention of them. But it is mentioned in one section of here, which you can only assume to be related to hellgeese, is when it stops talking about the crows, it mentions that there is another avian creature where there are a number of them that exist, 2 per each of the 7 levels. And that these creatures are incredibly dangerous. But it otherwise provides no further description or name for them.
2 per level?
Yeah.
As in... like 2 types?
No. So two of these seem to exist on each of the layers. Your family,
We had more than 2 geese.
you remember you had about 12, yeah.
Yeah, I got that right.
Red. You breeding hell geese? What's wrong with you?
Oh god, an army of geese.
But that's the only thing you otherwise find. There's not much on it, and that's even a stretch. You don't know whether it's referring to them, it could be referring to Scarthins, it could be referring to another avian creature you're unaware of, as you haven't really explored the other layers. And if there's only 2 per layer, then that doesn't explain why your family would have 12 of them. But who knows?
Okay.
Or 11 now, I suppose.
Way to rub it in.
Yeah, sorry. Cat. You were looking for information in regards to ruins and info on what gods they may have been referring to. Looking about a lot of this, you find the same sort of information that Vinny does in regards to what he's been looking through. There's a lot of references and a lot of overlap between your 2 topics, and thus a lot of this information gets passed on. The main thing that you pick up is that a lot of these temples seem to be dedicated to Husk, which isn't one that you're too familiar with, but go ahead and roll me a religion check to get more information on that.
Okay, religion is...
Also, welcome, Dan.
Hello, my man.
4. Am I doing this flat roll, or is...
This will be a
more
flat roll, yeah.
helping? Okay.
Yeah, this will be more just your what you might know.
22. That's actually
22.
good for cat.
You know that Husk is one of the fallen and forsaken deities. Husk, more notably known for being a scarab of a large scarab beetle of undeath, representing pestilence and the constant wave and plague of undeath that can take place after individuals die one after another. The nature of such dangers is, well, you can imagine that given that they fought during the atrocities and that such individuals were worshipping this and there is a giant skeleton literally looming above your head, that this creature, this deity or divine being, was incredibly powerful. And the fact that there was a lot of temples and stuff that were worshipping this deity only until about 15 years ago suggests that they may still have a lot of influence in the area. Possibly stuff that isn't known about. Hideaways and hideouts that they don't know, but their scouts are constantly on the lookout for. It's unnerving in its own way. As you go looking for information on the Lota's ruin, there's no information on that. Given it's quite far out, there doesn't seem to be any information on that regarding that. And there's no mention of Lota
itself.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's no mention of Lota anywhere. Again, this seems to be a religiousess area, and they don't seem to have much ties to it. Although they do categorize and otherwise keep the information on such things. They don't otherwise manage that sort of thing, and they don't seem to have any information on it.
Fair.
Yeah, and then there were, going through, there doesn't seem to be any representation of sacrifices being used in any of these old temples. Although there may be places where, from what you can gather, these temples may have had kind of some form of sacred power to them, and being tied to undeath, you imagine people may have been ritualistically killed to be turned into undead. You imagine it was more their followers than random people who might not be willing to follow the cause. The only other thing that you do note is that as you're going through this, there is no reference to a place you and Romulus already know about.
Huh? The tower that we rebuilt?
No. Go ahead and roll me a history check. I'll say both of you make me this.
Okay.
Simon, you know what to do.
Come on. 21.
21. And Romulus?
We've both got 13.
Plus
1.
plus 1, 14. So 21 and 14. The two of you together, as you're kind of thinking about this cat, there's a moment where Romulus kind of pokes you on the shoulder and kind of said, and goes, "Didn't we have something about ruins previously?" And you kind of rummage through your bag and you find the blueprints for Frostacon's keep.
Oh.
Damn, yeah.
There's no reference to it in any of these manuscripts.
That's a bit fucked up.
But you know that Frostacon's keep is to the west of the main capital, which is just south of where Vinny has found a bunch of information in regards to the densities of some of these keeps and temples.
So the fact that nothing's coming up is a bit...
Can I ask one of the people that are with us, why is there no information in regards to Frostacon's keep?
Which keep? I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Huh.
Ah.
Is
Well, it
there
might have been sent on
somewhere
one
you
of
know?
those checks.
I'll try and I'll show them roughly where it is.
Okay.
Like it's
Hmm.
here. It should
This-
be
Oh,
here.
you mean the death zone, the murder bot, or whatever.
No, can't say we've ever come across anything like that before. Intriguing. The scribe begins to kind of note this down, almost pulling out a map and beginning to mark possible locations where it could be and
Okay, we should.
kind of the rough area.
Can't. I don't believe we should be sharing this. Well,
You've already done it.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until fair.
Yeah, they're taking on it. This should be...
Fireball?
yeah, we should probably get on that one.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. It would make sense. It also triangulates with information that Vinny's got. Huh. Okay.
Well, you have that noted. And now, Romulus, you are asking for techniques of crafting.
Yes. By the by, I do have an inspiration. Would I be alright to spend it on this now for dramatic effect?
Yeah, sure.
Simon, roll!
Of course.
Two. Alright, so
You got
you're
a
taking
2.
your 13. Got it.
Yeah. Look, it was worth a try.
It was
and
worth a try.
frankly, if you don't use an inspiration, you lose an inspiration.
That's fair. So, you otherwise kind of go through the books as best you can on crafting and different details. There's plenty of stuff on smithing. There's plenty of things on other details of leather working and such, but there doesn't seem to be that much in regards to anti-magic. You go through, you find that there are enchantments that help against this, items that have been otherwise instilled with the essence of similar effects such as dispel magic or counterspell. But there doesn't seem to be any that are tied directly to anti-magic itself. As you kind of go through and your head begins to hurt while you're investigating through this sort of thing, the references to anti-magic say that it is a very old technique and very few individuals have learnt it since. Such existence of things like anti-magic fields are long lost and believed to be only conjurable by weaving magic. Attaching such a thing to an item or even recreating it with an item would be a nigh impossible task for any enchanter. But it does note that there are ways to enchant and instill the effects of dispel magic or counterspell, for example, into an item. But not necessarily to the same effect of anti-magics, to say.
Right.
I would say also
Is there anything
with the total, I'd
she's
say you know
making?
there are also runes that assist with this. Cat has one called the Disruption Rune, which is used for rune wizards, or rune smiths rather, and the Disruption Rune helps by basically giving your opponent disadvantage on on concentration checks.
Oh, break
Which-
room.
Oh, the break rune, sorry, yes. And that's an example of something that you could potentially use or instill or craft onto it using your Rune Knight system or by having Cat enchant it. But that's the only thing which comes to only thing that really shows up, I'm afraid.
With the bits that do, talk about making use of anti-magic, do any of them work on having a reagent that appears to absorb magic in it? Is there anything, because I have the mana suck leaf that I've been wanting to make use of.
There are mentions that
is-
materials are required for this, and mages have tried and failed in the past. Going through the details, I say you find more grueling stories of mages who lose the ability to cast magic altogether by failed enchantment, more than you find possible middle grounds of it's probably not possible, but I was close.
Right. The way I see it, trying to make anti-magic out of magic, that seems to be where the danger comes from. The idea of it as a larger thing, a larger entity, does seem to be, established by the histories, saying that, this is our ancient, knowledge that has been lost, as opposed to, yeah, it's only ever been people just, doing spellcraft. So there is something there. I'm quite liking the idea of runes. Maybe what I need is not to make something that is inherently anti-magic. Smarter people than me have tried and failed. Admittedly, they have been using magic to do that as opposed to runes, so we don't know, but maybe what I should instead start to focus on is what about something that amplifies the effect of the mana suck leaf? And yes, I will be calling that until such a time as that is no longer accurate. Okay. Right. I have ideas which we will discuss.
Okay. So, you spend most of the day looking through all this information, figuring out and picking up on all of these details. Is there further things you wish to research now that you have some of this information? Or is there any information you might like repeated so that you can jot it down if you didn't get a chance to?
I mean, if I get a chance, can I look into ancient relics? I want to know if there's anything like Satchania before noted.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an investigation check. I will say make it with advantage because this is what Mortar was going to be looking into. Before I had Mortar help you in the first place. So we'll say you're now working on. We'll say you're now working on Mortar's stuff.
Okay, well that's a nat 20 plus 8, so it's like 33.
33.
With researcher
Okay.
thing as well.
Yeah, with researcher. Going through this, there's a moment kind of the scribes are helping with this, and you have otherwise distracted your scribe with regards to information they didn't have. You wander off for a moment. And you find, kind of, with Mortar kind of going with you, kind of helping look around and stuff. One of the Scribe Wardens does go with you, just to kind of... You're wandering away from the rest of the group who sat around the table. You wander off, and you're kind of going through, and you see one particular, what looks to be a book with a scroll attached to it as seemingly a reference. You pull the book out, and you otherwise have a quick look through at the cover, turn through a few of the pages, and... you recognise something that was previously mentioned in a previous session. You recognise the Comet Strikers. A image of what looks to be a divine artifact from not necessarily times gone by, but one that was rediscovered and reinstilled with power. And you begin to flip through the book. You find what looks to be all of the artifacts of the Divine Light, remade by oh man, it's been so long. What's his name?
Bob.
Maverick. That were remade by Maverick. You also find listings of other artifacts that were created by various gods. Among which you go through. You do not find Sychania, but you do find Black Scorpion.
Okay.
You look through the details of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You look through the details of this, kind of trying to take note of it, of where you can. It mentions what looks to be the reference of it being previously owned by someone. You see that there are accounts of someone, a otherwise ruthless individual, some form of mass murderer from what you can tell, who used to use Black Scorpion to take the lives of many people in accordance to a agenda, akin to that of madness, it was mentioned. The individual went around and killed whoever they saw fit. Black Scorpion itself, from the description, is steeped in blood and concealment magic, making it nearly impossible to track or trace, meaning they were only able to find the individual because they let themselves not necessarily be caught, but they found themselves without their weapon for a time. The weapon was seemingly lost after that, and all information and records of it are otherwise contained within here as a first-hand memory scraping of the individual's mind, using the Modify Memory spell and further use of Detect Thoughts to delve into that person's mind and to scrape what little information they could about Black Scorpion out. Black Scorpion is a divine artifact, one that seems to be beholden to a flayed figure. The flayed figure themselves are an unknown deity and of great danger. With so little information known about them, it seems to be noted that if anyone is found with the possession of such a weapon, that they are to be turned in, and the weapon used for study. So, you have noted that there is a target on Mortar's back, but most people don't know it exists. It seems only the magically elite might be aware of this. Such as...
Mortar is currently, you're currently reading through this information, everything. Mortar's just off to the side, picking his nose or some
yeah.
shit.
Just hanging out with the Scribe Warden as Cat's reading through this intently, and you're just having a nice chat.
Honestly, yeah. He's just there I found this in the desert. Just...
oh, God. Cat finishes reading the book, turns around, and her face goes very pale all of a sudden.
The Scribe Warden doesn't seem to have noted. You look at the picture that's shown, and you look at the Black Scorpion that Mortar has. There are similarities, but there are also great differences. You note that, from what Mortar mentioned, that this may have gone dormant once again. The main thing that you do note, though, and this kind of shakes you a little bit, is that there is mention of one name here that you recognise. Tarscott seems to be the one who wrote this passage. Tarscott's far to the north in the desert, that far away. Could say half a world away would be accurate.
Okay. Right.
You otherwise find nothing on or you find nothing in regards to Sychania or Lota or any of that. But you kind of get that information, close the book, put it back, and make sure that this information is known to you and you alone for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Damian also wishes to look for something once he's helped assist Vinny.
Okay.
I want to have a look for what written records there are to do with the Knights of the Order of the Crest.
Go for it. I'll say make me an investigation check on your part. And I'll say make it with advantage, because Vinny will be giving you assistance with this after he's completed his task. To continue on with some of the stuff that Mortar's looking for, I'll say... let me just get this back up. So, Mortar, you were otherwise looking for details on the flayed entity.
Yes.
There is no
Yeah, so
there is
specifically-
no notion or mention of them anywhere.
Okay.
The
so
only
that's a
thing
bit of a dead end.
Yeah, the only thing that is heavily mentioned, this is from Cat's Nat 20 with the 33, is that prior to the atrocities, there were certain groups that would actively flay themselves as a form of worship. But that group died out
That's
relatively quickly.
That's all. Yeah,
Oh.
needless to say, that's all dependent on whether or not Cat chooses to tell me about the story. Like,
This is
as
I
far as
will be.
far as
Do
Mortar's
not
aware.
worry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Like either way is fine. But
Yeah.
Mortar's also looking for wordless
pacts, yes.
and other means of sealing pacts without actively like making deals and stuff.
Yeah. With this, you discover that pacts, wordless pacts are rare, but they do exist. Pacts typically require a verbal consent or component, usually a name written or a body part given willingly in order to bind it. Some pacts, however, remove the worded condition and prevent the individual from remembering that they made the pact in the first place. This is quite common. In order to preserve pacts from being undone, they are hidden from the person who has been making the pact with the greater creature. It is also mentioned that there are very rare occasions where a pact is made without words or even being consciously made due to emotion, instinct, or other requirements.
Does Mortar feel like any one of those tick the box for kind of what he's after?
One does. With that information, you remember the time when you were tied to a post and you were given the opportunity to be set free.
Yes. Okay.
And that moment to you almost has a strange kinship with the idea of a wordless pact. That moment you formed a bond which now you have no idea how to undo.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that definitely flips Mortar's perspective a bit of like of when it happened, because he was so in his own head about when he first found it, in opposed to actually something else very poignant that happened. So,
Yeah.
Okay, cool, good to know.
And Damian, what did you get on your investigation?
11.
11. It's fairly easy to find. You go through the information, you ask some of the scribes for it, and they point you to some of the references not too far from there, along with pointing you towards one individual who you can see, otherwise not necessarily keeping themselves busy, but standing at the back, seemingly on duty. You see what looks to be an older Knight of Paloon, currently standing between what looks to be a wooden gateway that bars off this section to a section beyond, where you've seen a few scribes pass to and from, but he seems to be maintaining some form of protection or seal or guard, you're not sure. But you note that they have noted your presence.
Okay. The books first. Let's see if he's going to approach me at some point, potentially.
Okay. Yeah. You go through the books and you look through the details of it. There is a very key bit of history which you find fairly quickly. When the citizens of Ovok'Gro, otherwise led by a particular raider, worked with a group of vigilantes to retake the capital from Queen Aureli's. They sent many of their individuals there to perform raiding parties, to attack her settlements and strongholds, in giving this vigilante party known as the Phantoms, who you now know are the lead ruling party of intelligence within the Alliance, that they assisted them in setting these things up. In return, there has been a strong kinship and bond of handling of information between the two. It seems that the reason you're so well respected is because the Knights of Paloon had a direct aid in helping these individuals when it mattered most. And so as a result, they seem to have formed a bond between abbots, the raiders of Ovok'Gro, and the phantoms of the capital.
The capital being
Maruk.
Yeah, Maruk. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And if you remember
They're
Mortar,
like an intelligence service almost.
Yes, and I believe Mortar, if you remember, you saw them when you took your trip to Maruk when you met when you went with Damian. If you remember.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I do remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah, the individual on guard doesn't seem to come over to you at all. They seem to be remaining on duty and as such remain there.
Okay. Bear with me. I'm just finishing my notes.
That's all right. While you do that, Mortar, you said we were going to do something else afterwards, or?
Yeah. So something else that came up for Mortar, which he is incredibly curious about, considering nobody seems to have much information about it, is the nature of the assassins that attacked, or the illusory look of the assassins that attacked us in the previous village. I want to see if I can narrow down their identity and maybe an order, if they have, if they are like a group, or if they are like a sect of some sort.
I'll say where Vinny.
He's trying to identify it like based on their clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll say because that was something I think I covered with Vinny before you arrived here.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. There was no information on said group whatsoever. They don't exist in these records, from what you can tell.
Okay.
There also seems to be very little connection to any cult at all. The land itself seems to be far less driven by religion than other areas of the world.
Okay. I think in a different vein than Mortar is thinking about I haven't had a chance to talk to Kat about this yet, but the information which she has gleaned, off of the thing of the wordless pact, I think Mortar is going to, I guess, look into different devotees of different pantheons, specifically of evil pantheons, trying to narrow down, maybe not, maybe this entity isn't strictly listed in this library for reasons, but maybe records of their followers and maybe activities regarding their followers in the land, maybe, and that may lead me to further answers.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. If anybody wishes to assist with this, you may go ahead and do so.
I will give him a hand.
Okay. So
That's
go
already
ahead.
with
Thank
me.
you. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. I'm definitely going to need this. Oh yeah, that's not great.
9.
That's a 4.
Oh, it's with advantage, so you take the 11.
Oh yeah, so a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, a 9. You otherwise go looking for this. There doesn't seem to be much. The only things that there isn't mention of many gods, no cults, no nothing. You go through, there's very little mention of any religious activity whatsoever. And the only mention of any of this is long gone religious activity. I will say that with Kat helping you and having the researcher background, I'll say that Kat, you note that a lot of this stuff seems to refer to the old empire that is far to the east of here. Far to the west of here. The old empire itself used to be a wasteland after various things happened there, but after the War of Seeking, the land began to heal again and has only recently become re-inhabited. It is a treasure trove of discovery, but it is incredibly difficult to get to.
Okay, Damian is going to wander over to this rather out of place, to at least Damian, old knight.
Okay. You otherwise head over. The knight otherwise nods at you as you approach. Good to see a Knight of Paloon here for once in so long. Have you my replacement?
Replacement?
Yeah. I'm taking it that's a no then.
I didn't know there were any here, to be fair. I didn't really know about Ovok'Gro.
I see.
It is
Well,
a bit.
yes. Well, in such a case, I guess that narrows it down that you're not here to replace me. What are you here for?
I'm assisting, and sort of gesture about this party with well, their problems, what they need to solve. But you expecting a replacement, and Commander Lint hasn't sent one yet?
It's more up to the abbot to send a replacement, because they need to contact Commander Lint and then send someone down this far, and either my replacements get lost, or they die, or they just forget
How long
that
have
I
you been
exist.
waiting for a replacement?
I've been waiting 3 years to become a Relic Knight.
Oh, crumbs. I'm assuming you've repeatedly asked for replacements.
I have, yeah. I've put in the note every year, and it's usually gone as a, your information has been approved, and we'll send someone down as soon as we can, and then that's the last I hear of them until I send it next year.
Knight of Paloon bureaucracy. Yes, tell me about it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm waiting for a replacement still.
What do you exactly? What is your purpose here, if you don't mind me asking? I'm unfamiliar really with this whole area, so.
I guard the same as the specialist guards who take care of the vault back in Paloon. You know that the vault guards are individuals who stay on their station pretty much all the time, except for when they do get changed out with one other individual or when the area is off limits. You know that the vault is where Leo stole the beads from.
Gotcha. That is a very honourable duty. Do you have a colleague who you share the duty with?
Only one of the Scribe Wardens. They come and replace me every now and then, but this is my main duty, so it's eat, sleep, come here, keep guard, eat again, have small breaks here and there, and then repeat.
My brain unintentionally completed a TV spot advertisement there for a particular brand of chewing gum.
Eat, sleep, work, repeat.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah.
That at least one, that one isn't copyrighted, yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Huh. Okay.
Why, you wanting to be a replacement?
I'm not sure. I've sort of completed my task, but I've been burdened with something that's incredibly important, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pursue it myself soon. Maybe it should be passed to someone else. And if you don't seem to ever get a replacement down here and I'm here, then I guess it would make sense.
You want to swap places?
Possibly? You would surely want to know what I'm trying to do first.
Well,
It would probably delay you becoming a Relic Knight, that's for certain.
possibly.
But maybe if you can make your way back, you can definitely get assistance on the task, because I think you'll need it.
Possibly. I can work with that, yeah. I mean, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I assume Lint knows about this?
Actually, that's a point. Does Lint know about the second task? He would have been told something about.
Leo has mentioned what Leo has mentioned. You haven't specifically contacted him, so you don't know what exactly has been discussed.
No, I was just trying to think if I didn't send a message when we were in Zakers, did I?
No.
No. He doesn't, but from my understanding before the first time I came here, a message could be sent to Commander Dravis Lint. I could certainly send the information to him and the request.
We can do that. If that's alright with you and you're fine with handing over this mission to myself, then I can do. Won't your friends need you?
I look back as presumably everybody's looking at various things, busy
Yeah.
engrossed. I'll have to talk with them, but it would only be fair on you, and I'm here.
That is very generous. Have a word with them first. Make sure that it's okay.
I will do, thank you. What's your name? Sorry.
Sir Yassine.
Sir Damian.
Nice to meet you. He
I'll
otherwise,
be back shortly.
he otherwise gives a nod. The metal clanking, or the metal of his armor clanking slightly. You note that he's probably in his early 60s. He is an old knight. He was supposed to have become a relic knight when he got close to 60, but this is... yeah, they've pushed it a bit.
3 years delays do that to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you return to the party. Is there anything else anyone would like to do while they're still researching here for the time being?
No.
The various temples and shrines in Zif.
Yes.
Do I get any understanding of who or what some of them may have been to?
Most of them, by the looks of it, were in reference to either a scion or one of the great heralds of Husk, it would seem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it seems like that's pretty much the trend everywhere in this area.
Most of this area seems to be devoted to one singular deity, being Husk. There are mentions of others, but they are otherwise footnotes at the end of pages.
Okay. And one other thing. It might be a bit of a long shot, but can I find any reference to the Ring of the Worm?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Does anybody want to assist Damian in this? You're currently helping Mortar.
You've mentioned it to...
Yeah.
He has mentioned it to me before, but if I'm with Cat, then
Yeah.
I won't be able to.
Romulus, did you want to provide assistance with this? Or Kirv?
Does my investigation... I mean, my investigation is bad. Does that affect this?
No, it just gives Vinny advantage.
Then I will do that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll of
Oh, did I
investigation.
catch that last question?
That's fine. Kirv's providing advantage for Vinny.
Ah.
Sounds about right.
Oh, Tiefling's got to stick together.
Pretty good.
Fortunate that we did. That's a 22.
22.
Oh, nice.
You go through all of these books. There doesn't seem to be any reference to the Ring of the Worm, unfortunately. The specific artifacts and magic items, there seems to be very little that mentions like names of things. There are pictures, but that's about it. And you can't quite recall what the ring looks like. Which is rather unhelpful in this instance. But you go through there, you see that there are several rings of many different designs. Ones that are like snakes, others which look like various centipedes, none that look like worms necessarily, if that's even what it did look like. You're not certain.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Anything further, or is that your day spent researching?
That's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
like
well
everybody to make me a Constitution saving throw, with Cat and Vinny rolling with disadvantage, please.
Oh, what are we doing?
Interesting. Con save.
Oh.
DC,
Con save.
DC is 10. And
Okay,
Is this an immediate?
I got 15.
Yeah, no, that's a 4.
7.
and
Is this an
Simon, you
immediate
okay to roll
effect?
for no, this is over the course of the day.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay, no worries then. I got a 14.
14, you're fine. Romulus is fine. Damian, what did you get?
11.
11. Okay, so both the tieflings, Kirv and Vinny, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion, and as you find today's reading very taxing on your mind. For Cat, this is light reading for Cat. This is usual stuff. For Mortar, you spent most of the time picking your nose and talking to the Scribe Wardens because it was fun. Romulus spent most of his time looking at diagrams and how to craft stuff, and so he was just reading a manual effectively. And Damian, this was as far as your mind could take. As much as you are a historian in certain aspects, this is as much as your mind could take today. And you knew your own limit. But Kirv and Vinny, you pushed yourself today.
Yeah, Kirv probably hasn't read a book in at least 20 years.
A whole minute.
How old's Kirv?
Yeah, how was Kirv?
I reckon anywhere between like 25 and 35, somewhere in that line.
Hang on! So what you're telling me is that Kirv hasn't read a book since the point where you just about see picture books and go on to proper reading, or young adult lit romance novels.
Well, on the farm, quite young, you know, that's the culture.
I mean, there isn't much literature in Hell. I can only imagine that most of it was porn. So.
I was about to say, let's be honest,
Or
it was
smart
probably
books.
Hell's
So-
version of Twilight, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Well,
It's
so you mean Twilight?
So just Twilight, yeah.
It was all porn, but it was also all contracts.
Oh, gross.
Oh.
Okay.
Moving
Mortar
on.
begins flicking through
Yes.
one of the Mortar begins flicking through one of the magazines. He's like, "Oh wow, this hell porn. This is wild."
I didn't know one could get in that position.
Look at the
Honestly,
look at the
at the
proportions on this,
content.
Aaron. Yes.
look at the contracts.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Look at the horns on her.
Their binding work is immaculate. Anyway,
Get a load of that circle of the abyss.
Oh, no.
Dude. Oh wow, you could take me to Dante's Inferno any time.
So you otherwise finish up your day of reading and slowly trudge back to the left rib, unless anybody wishes to stretch themselves this day and go for more reading.
No.
Absolutely not.
I need to have a very light conversation.
Okay. You
Yeah,
otherwise
no,
head back to the left rib. It's still dark out due to the blizzard, but the weather might settle, hopefully. You can hope. You otherwise set off. The Scribe Wardens say goodbye. Before you leave, the headmaster does arrive, or does show back up. Productive day?
Yes.
Good. Glad it was. Will you be returning here tomorrow, or will you be carry on with whatever your tasks are? You spent a lot of the day researching stuff today, and, well, otherwise looks at what looks to be a small pocket watch. You spent a good 10 hours in here.
Huh.
Oh shit! No wonder my nose is bleeding so bad.
Doesn't feel really long.
I don't suppose in that 10 hours I could have like had a look over specifically for anything like rune related to the anti-magic stuff.
I mean, I did ask if there was anything else people wanted to research before they left, so no.
Other people were talking. I didn't want to interrupt, and then there was a whole, leaving the party thing.
We'll do a roll in a
I
minute.
thought we were going. Okay.
So,
I might return. I will need to speak with someone again.
very well. And before I forget, this is your payment for the work that you have done. If you want any further work or any other assignments or want to be sent out on expeditions, then by all means let me know and we will see what we can arrange. I'm hesitant to call you allies, but you have proved that you aren't enemies.
I mean, how much longer do we plan on staying in the city? I guess we're staying here until all thing is done, right, Vinny?
Yeah, if possible, I'd like to head out as soon as the blizzard clears up, but we still need to make sure we know exactly where we're going.
Fair enough. But where is it we're going? Sorry, I missed that part.
Southwest is where there's a large cluster of them, which happens to coincide with the village that was mentioned amongst the others. The others were nearby as well, so it's just generally that area seems to be the hot spot for a lot of this.
And Frostcons that way.
And
as well.
Frostcons that way as well. Yeah.
We weren't able to find a map or anything of that general area.
No.
Or have we been there before?
There was a map of that general area, but it looks like due to the rules and due to the Scribe Wardens, you aren't allowed to copy any of it down.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to take it or copy it, so we'll need to find... We'll probably try and find a map somewhere else, if possible.
Okay, no worries.
The headmaster otherwise goes, well, if you want to have any other expeditions or anything else that you might need from us, by all means, feel free to ask. As for your reward, I believe this is owed of all of you, and hands all of you a small pouch. What was that?
Mortar hasn't had any more money than than one gold piece for a grand total of about 20 episodes. He is overjoyed.
I like to imagine Mortar's is just full of dust bunnies.
No,
He is still overjoyed.
You're opening them up for your rewards?
Oh, I'll look at them when we get back.
It's a great.
Okay. You have a look in for some of you that otherwise take a look in on your way out or to see what's in there. Each of you have been bestowed with 25 platinum pieces.
Ooh. Yes, please.
Okay. That too.
5 platinum pieces. Hell yeah.
Just for the purposes of out of character, you can probably all add 5 more because mine will be shared out to you guys.
Fair enough. So everyone gets 30. Except for Damian, who's giving his out to the party.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to pass it on to Steve's character?
No, Steve will get his base start income, which will be far worse than I ever got when I was a noble.
Damn right. You're damn right. Take it to the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to start somewhere. Don't give a foot up.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve.
Poor Mortar's 15 episodes in and so he just got his first payout.
Yeah. Sorry, Steve, but yeah, this is exactly what the party's like.
Mortar is
You mean what we're like? That's only fair.
No, I said that's what they're like, not what you're like.
What?
The party just all agree that he has to work for his money.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, it was his statement.
It's my statement. What do you want to
We agree.
Oh, fine, it's your fault. All right. So, you all head back to the left rib. Was there anything else that you'd like to do before the day is up? You've spent 10 hours there. So those of you with points of exhaustion, obviously you have disadvantage on anything you try and do for the rest of the day. And you can't take watches tonight in the event that will matter for anything. But yeah, there is still business out. You haven't spent the full day. You've spent most of it doing stuff. But
So what the last thing. What are the kind of things that we're looking at doing before we head back? Is there anything outstanding that we can maybe do?
I mean,
Oh, actually, hold on. We just had a bit of a big payout, right? I feel like this is time for a little upgrade. What do you
Yeah,
say? We're all feeling a little bit, a little bit shabby, a little bit worse for wear. Why not, spruce ourselves up a bit with a bit of new gear.
as Kat looks down at her clothes, the corrupted arm has ripped her clothes. I guess I probably need to get some new clothes.
What's the time though?
Yeah, that's true. What is the time?
Well,
we were in there for 10 hours, so
Yeah.
it's probably dark.
No, it's about. Well, it's been dark all day because of the blizzard, but it's about 4 or 5 p.m.
Oh, shit. What time does it look like stores are closing? Like
These people are night people. They tend to keep going on until about 10, 11 o'clock most nights. When you first got here, if you remember, there were celebrations going on until about 3 a.m. So
shit.
these are night people.
Okay. Well, I mean, Mortar is probably going to look to get some better armor if he can.
Okay. What kind of thing?
His armor's looking his armor is looking incredibly worn, and he hasn't probably changed it for way before he met you guys. He is a stinky boy.
Okay.
Wait, you haven't had a bath or a shower or any sort of cleaning?
No, why would I?
Tula's been doing it.
Yeah.
That's Tula's job. She cleans the whole party just while they sleep, and the rest of the party don't notice.
Who the fuck is Tula? Who the fuck is Tula?
At this, so at this point, you
Tula
watch.
is a really lovely woman.
Yeah. So at this point, you otherwise, as you're like, there's this
Posing you
mention of who's been keeping you clean. You watch as this tiny dragon head pokes itself out from behind Cat's head hair. And you see this kind of tiny, long, otherwise long draconic form with kind of these pink, almost this pink frill of hair that runs down from the head down the back, and then comes into this massive brush at the end where you see bubbles otherwise rising off of it. I did have Tula's tile around here, but I cannot find it for the life of me. So
Mortar's eyes widen and he goes, I thought you were in dream. Like he's woken up.
hello.
Completely forgotten about it the next day.
You cut out for a moment there.
Yeah,
That's
that cut
Tula.
for me as well.
All I was saying was Mortar's probably he's probably seen this creature, but he's been like asleep while he's done so. So he's like woken up briefly, seen it, and then gone immediately back to sleep and just dismissed the experience as a dream.
Yeah, that's fair. So that's Tula on tabletop.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that thing's been cleaning you all at night.
Oh dear God!
It's not that big. It's a tiny creature. I just made it bigger so you can see it.
It is like tiny.
Yeah, tiny. It's basically just been jumping around and then casting prestidigitation on all of you, and then going back to sleep. I mean, that's Tula's job.
Yeah.
Cat has a lot of hair that needs brushing and cleaning because, Centaur. And same with Romulus being a Minotaur. So, it's very useful.
Much, but it's honest work.
Yeah.
How's that best?
Yeah.
The point. How much has Tula been paid?
Um,
Not to bring up a servitude issue with Tula's existence
didn't
here or
ask.
anything,
No,
but
we didn't ask for its services, right?
that doesn't mean you don't get paid. We don't ask for the person to fill in the potholes, but they still do it.
do you pay a familiar?
We do ask for people to fill in the potholes. And
We
you don't do it.
Where have
I
you
don't know
been
where
living?
you're
More
hired on,
akin to
Tech.
the
I don't know where you-
people who will throw soapy water on your car and then go up to you and ask you for money because they've already cleaned your car. Is it kind of like that?
Essentially, it sounds like it. Because I didn't
Yes.
consent to being washed in my sleep.
Also, I'd like to say I think Kirv is going to just stick back at the inn. Is it an inn or is it a
At the left rib?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since she has a point of exhaustion and she still has frostbite, and I am scared of her getting
shit.
anything else.
No, that's fair. Okay. Also, we'll say
So
that you
she's
spend
gonna
the
have a
rest of
hot
the evening.
chocolate
Yeah, you spend the rest
and
of
a
the
hot
evening
bath.
resting up. Yeah. Okay.
Gotta check out the bar.
So, Mortar, you were going to go on a shopping frenzy with your newfound riches.
Not so much a frenzy. Mortar has very much like just one thing in mind. He just wants some new armor, essentially, just because his armor is looking incredibly banged up.
Okay. By new armor, are you referring to magic armor, cheap armor, or somewhere in between?
No, Mortar definitely, kind of based on the experiences he's had with this group, noting that he's gone up since he's been in with this group, he's gone up against a couple of emissaries. He's gone up against a dragon with a crazy undead dude riding him. So he's kind of under the impression of, if this is where we're at now, what are we going to get up to later? So he's going, okay, I need to start like preparing myself and getting myself ready for things. So Mortar is looking for some magical armor, if at all possible.
Okay.
And he's also going to look for a some kind of accessory that will allow, that is also magical in nature as well. That will maybe just give him the edge on what it is that he's good at. Specifically, I'm not really sure, but he's kind of just in the mood for a little bit of perusing.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Oh boy, Mortar is going to end up in the brothel.
Oh, come on.
Oh no, 17! Hey, Mortar finds his way to the right brothel. To the brothel.
Well, he's still some armor.
So I'll say,
On the crossfit.
wandering around for a little bit, trying to get the best, or trying to get what you can out of all of this. You don't find any magic shops. You know that magic shops tend not to exist all that often, as they don't really do too well most of the time. They need high security. Only adventurers can really buy stuff. So most of the time, magic items come through auctions. What you do find when wandering around, you don't find an auction house necessarily. What you do find is what looks to be a armor smith, currently working on some pieces by the looks of it. You otherwise see the kind of the outside of the tannery shop, and otherwise head inside, and you can see that there is an individual, what looks to be kind of this white-paled ice orcan individual, otherwise sat working some tanned leather, scraping off the outside of the hide and the fur from the hide itself, and preparing all sorts of bits and pieces to potentially be put into tannin. The smell itself, or the shop itself, has a bit of a musky smell, kind of a wild, gamey smell to it as well. One that would be reminiscent of hide and furs and animals and that general sense of damp. But there is also the crisp cold to the temperature in here as well. You look around the shop itself, and it's a small, simple shop with what looks to be an open workstation at the back and a countertop not far from it. And you can see that the inside of the shop is lined with what looks to be basic armor, it would seem. Mostly leather armor made from various hides. You can see what looks to be a few bits of armor that are display pieces by the looks of it, that are made of metal, but you otherwise don't see any other metal armor amongst this.
Mortar's definitely not looking for metal armor. He's nowhere near strong enough to pull that off. He's definitely looking for something light that he will just give him a little bit of an edge. Really kind of lean into his speed. So he's and agility. So he's definitely looking for studded leather. Definitely
Okay.
studded leather.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Or some equivalent.
Yeah. You
Rocking
otherwise
a leather jacket.
kind of head up to the desk.
So I guess I'll walk in and everything, and I'll say, "Hey, you guys got any? I'm looking for some new armor," and I will kind of make a point of showing what I'm currently wearing.
Yeah, the individual otherwise looks up, stands up, and you watch as the orc individual turns towards you, They otherwise take off what looks to be kind of the simple mask and hood that's set up for scraping this, so they don't inhale any of the fur by the looks of it. They pull it off, and you can see the orc individual with these kind of long, otherwise elaborately carved tusks, as well as a single plait of what looks to be bright blue hair that runs down from the top of their, from the peak of their forehead all the way down to probably the midsection of their back. As they otherwise turn and kind of wander towards you, they pull out a set of spectacles. My, you have had a bit of a rough time, haven't you?
You know it, man. You know it. Oh man, I just need something new. My current adventuring party is really throwing me in at the deep end with the new experiences. So I was looking for something a little more robust. I don't suppose you have anything in your wares that could maybe hold up against something a little bit more punishment, but still give me room to zip around.
I got some things that could work for that. Let me quickly go have a look through and see what that might be. What kind of armor would you be after? You after some lighter stuff, or you after something that's maybe not too heavy but a tad heavy?
Definitely lighter. Something because I'm kind of more about the being sneaky and stuff. So I want to really maintain having that. Nothing that's going to slow me down, but still, I need something a little more robust than this, if that makes sense. I don't suppose you have anything in your wares that would cover that.
I do. You're mostly looking for kind of lighter leather armors as opposed to furs and hides.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright.
And if it's possible, my previous, this current armor I've got on, it's got some sheathing across kind of the just beneath the breast area where I could put, so where I've got my knives, and I'll kind of open my jacket and show the blades that kind of line on the inside there and say, I don't suppose would there be like a fee for like a custom job, or do you have anything that already comes with that, or?
We can do custom. Well, I can do custom work, yeah.
And how long do you reckon it would take to fulfill that kind of order?
Given your size, if I got the materials, probably maybe day, 2 days at most. Just need to take your measurements and go from there. And it depends on what you made it out of.
How do you mean?
Well, otherwise gesture to an array of materials. Not necessarily a roll of materials, but an array of them. You can see that there are scales, leathers. You can see that there's all kinds of furs as well, kind of in prep for potentially being used for specific projects. You can also see several types of armor as well that are here. Some of them not necessarily suiting your style necessarily, but could be redesigned for the purpose.
Mortar will kind of like consider he'll consider the fur. He's kind of like, oh yeah, Kirv's got this really cool fur thing going on at the minute, and I'm like, I don't really think I can pull that off. So he's gonna stick with gonna be like, well, I don't need anything too flashy, just something that I can just use for practicality. Also, since you're here, I don't know the area all that well. I don't suppose you know if there's like a place where I can get something enchanted?
Not around here, no. If you want something enchanted, you'll have to head to Glasson.
I have no idea where that is.
It's the capital. It's south through here, through the mountains, or alternatively, you can take the several-day trek following the mountain edge.
Yeah, I don't think we're really headed that way, but thanks anyway. Just wondering if maybe there was someone in the area.
No, that's
so
all right.
Measurements then.
Well, got to pick the material first to see if it would work for you.
Oh, leather, 100%. Yeah, definitely lean into leather.
And there's multiple types of leather. We've got...
okay.
Let's see.
Mortar's mind is just like, what?
Yeah. There is Yeti leather. There is... there is...
Better be some Sasquatch leather.
No, that is Yeti.
Are there any wild llama yet? Are there any wild llama leathers?
And there's goat.
No, but there's some
leather.
wandering merchants llama's leather.
It's just some wandering merchants. Perfect.
Time to make some leather.
Goose leather.
No.
wearing.
Hell goose leather.
Yeah.
There's salamander leather as well. That one's more expensive, but it
Mortar-
would potentially
Mortar
give
is
some bonuses.
secretly thinking, God, I wish someone came with me to lend me a hand with this.
No.
Because
Only
he's
those-
just nodding. He's just nodding approvingly, like, yeah, and he's just there like, I realise that this really tough.
Chris,
Mhm.
is there such a thing as chameleon leather?
Maybe.
I imagine
That would be
is
quite
interested
cool. It just sort of...
Oh, hello.
Oh, it cut out for me there.
Yeah, cut
Yeah,
out for
me
me
too.
there. That must have been
Oh.
a Discord thing.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
go on,
back
Morben.
now, but
I just asked, what's the salamander leather?
Salamander leather is from ice salamanders. They otherwise roam the area around here. Relatively dangerous. Naturally resilient against the cold, which is always good, especially if you need to move to and from. But also protect you against similar things like their kind. We also have wolf leather as well, if you're looking for just something a bit cheaper.
Which is the and what's the benefits of the Yeti leather?
It'll be thicker than the salamander leather. It'll be probably just as strong, but it might have a few of the downsides of, well, Yetis are quite flammable.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's definitely eyeing the salamander leather. Like, well, what kind of cost are we thinking? Like, especially with the custom stuff, I can understand what might be a little
Well,
what we're looking.
salamander leather is hard to come by most of the time. Not many hunters sell it to me. Most of the time they'll take it and sell it to some privatized merchant who wants to either sell it on or take it somewhere else. Let's see. If you're just after a simple jacket or something that'll help with maybe keeping you protected and to the same extent that your current one does, 200 gold.
Currently, I'm. I was kind of just looking for more of like leather, just kind of like standard, just leather covering. To be honest, I've got like a cloak and stuff, so I kind of don't want to get like, too many flappy things or too many more flappy things.
I mean,
So I
it'll
was hoping
be... The design can be made in such a way that it's not going to be flappy. If it's the same design as your current one, I imagine you'll be replacing your current one with this, so you don't want to be exposing your arms to the cold.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, if you want shorts and a tank top for leather armor, you can, but you're going to get cold very quickly in that.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, just a straight swap, more or less, is kind of what I'm after.
Alright. Yeah, I can do that for
You said
200.
200 with the modifications as well.
Yes. Yeah, the modifications will mainly add time.
And because I'm a dumbass, how much platinum? How much does
20.
platinum translate into gold? 20. So I'd be left with 10 platinum. Still quite a lot.
Yeah, this will be
I think the benefits of it would definitely outweigh me not having it. So I think Mortar is going to go for it.
Okay. This will be acting like studded leather armor, and you will get to choose between it having a bonus +1 to its to your AC, or if it will give you cold resistance.
Ooh,
You will get to choose, but once you have chosen, you cannot change it.
makes sense, yeah. Oh man.
Because obviously cold resistance is only going to be so useful until you leave, well, going to be very useful down here, but the moment you leave, it's going to become less useful.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. My con saves are pretty good. I think I'm probably going to stick with I'm probably going to go for the +1.
+1?
+1 study.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be 13 plus your dex mod for your AC. So I'll modify that on your character sheet in a moment.
Amazing.
Okay. Anything else anyone else would like to do for the rest of the day? And given your decent role, but not amazing for the purposes of trying to find the store, you head back to the tavern afterwards for a meal.
For sure.
I
Definitely
would
hungry
like
after all this nose picking.
Yes.
I was just going to say I would like have a quick conversation with Eugene and Filch, but it's not urgent.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I'll need to chat with the party at some point when everyone's together.
Yeah, for sure.
I would also like to do a little bit of like grabbing stuff for practicing with runes. Is that something I can do?
If you want to spend time, yeah, doing that sort of thing. Which one would you like to do?
I think I'm going to be trying to understand and research that break one, with the hopes that maybe I can use that as a starting point to get towards anti-magic.
Okay. Make me an intelligence check.
I don't suppose
No.
I could. Worth a try.
This is rune smithing.
great
This is specifically wizard, so this is intelligence specifically.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's see how it goes. Roll, Simon.
But
Right.
I'm assuming we're back at the hotel, and I'll be showing him the break. I'll be showing him the break room.
Yeah, this will be a manner of he doesn't have any levels in wizard, so he's literally going to have to roll on his own. There's nothing you can do to help him.
Okay. I tried.
Sure then.
8 plus
1.
1. It's going to take quite a bit of time for you to learn these sorts of runes. Your runes typically tie to objects, purposes, meanings, things that are specific. Your runes are tied to the many different types of giants and tied to the more traditional words within giant themselves, whereas Cat's ones are more tied to an arcane fundamental force. You don't have much sharing or overlapping, if any at all. Your runes do completely different things. And so as you're trying to decipher it as best you can, you don't know what this will do.
That's fair enough.
It will take more studying, but it's something you can try and achieve in the long term.
Yeah. I don't think my end goal is to be able to use cat-style runes. My end goal is to understand them enough to start to work something out for my kind of runes.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as there may not be much overlap, I feel like if I can understand both to a degree, I'm going to be much better at working on either one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, the sooner I start, the sooner I finish.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Anything else anybody else would like to do? So Mortar's gone out shopping. Romulus is currently inspecting what runes Cat has. Vinny, Kirv, Damian, or Cat?
I'm waiting for the party to all reconvene, so I guess Damian's sort of just eating.
Okay.
When we're having a meal.
Kirv is
Yes,
relaxing.
I think starting tomorrow, Vinny is going to be looking around for any travelers to interview and also to resupply so that we can hit the road as soon as the blizzard lifts. But I think for today, for the rest of today, Vinny is just going to be in the hotel, thinking and reminiscing about his old friends and trying to write some music.
Okay. Sounds
Wait, you're doing bard things?
Yeah, very occasionally.
I'll say make me a performance check if you wish to do so. Otherwise, you spend the time writing and reminiscing on various events from the past. And Kat, was there anything in particular you wanted to do?
I was helping Romulus, but I think I'm going to give me a second. I don't really have anything. But I do need to check my inventory quick. Okay. I also need to go shopping, apparently.
Okay.
I need to buy some ink. Oh, I also want to get some clothes. Oh, yeah, okay. I need to get some clothes. I completely forgot I said that. And I need to buy some ink.
Mortar, as you're being measured up, Cat is just standing there behind you.
How did you get here?
She's been there the whole
Quickly,
time.
cover me up! Cover me up!
You're not naked and getting
Mortar
measured.
Mortar has completely stripped down to his like a pair of incredibly dirty underwear, and he's just standing there T-posing right now because he doesn't understand how this works.
As me and the shopkeeper look at each other like, what on earth are you doing?
Shopkeeper's
Mortar
blushing.
hears your voice and turns. His eyes are just wide. His eyes are just wide. Mortar still has the mask and everything on. Like he's wearing the mask and the goggles still, but everything else is gone.
Can Mortar do a performance check just to see how impressed the shopkeeper is?
I mean, you don't need to do a performance check, but by all means.
Oh man.
And Tula goes over and
shall we?
yeah, Tula goes over and otherwise proceeds to clean you up while you are disrobed.
I knew it. I knew it was you. Performance. So I have a +3 for that. Okay,
oh
come
my
on.
god.
Let's see.
Rolls a 1.
This would be. That
If
would
I've
just be
ever wanted
hilarious.
a 1.
No,
15.
that's pretty good. That's a 15.
Yeah,
That's a 15.
shopkeeper's
That's
still
not bad.
blushing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mortar's very confused as to why people are reacting very weirdly around him, but continues to T-pose proudly.
There are only 2 people in the shop besides you, the shopkeeper and Cat.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't tend to. He doesn't tend to.
Well, actually,
Thing is,
there's
he doesn't tend
Tula,
to
there's
strip down for
Cychania,
anybody.
there's Jeff.
I mean, there's a creature. So
Yeah.
that's-
Oh damn! What does the
And there's
creature?
my
What does the
crazy-
creature think?
Then there's my crazy
Ooh.
dating thing.
I rolled pretty high for the
Creature's
creature.
just like, what a snack.
Oh no.
I'm eating him
It's like,
first.
this is-
Oh god.
Oh no, it's cursed. So, yeah. So I was saying, Cat, what were you trying to shop for specifically? Just some clothes and.
I need to get some replacement clothes after mine have been ripped up because, you know.
Just basic clothes.
No, I'd like to get some nice clothes. I haven't decided what I always want because this has just kind of thrown me off. So
No,
I can get
that's
back
fine.
to you on what kind of clothes I want, but I'd like some custom clothes.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
And
you
you
like
said the other
skies,
thing you were
the
going to get
new
would be
Ink.
ink.
Yes.
How much do you need?
I need 50 GP's worth so I can make another life rune.
It will cost you 75 GP, as the supply of ink down here is very difficult to get, given they do not have oceans nearby to supply it, or plants that could provide an equivalent ink that would be a synthetic ink. And you imagine that most of it probably goes to the Scriptorium, which isn't going to sell it.
Alright, first things first, how much are the clothes going to cost?
If you're
I need to
just
make sure I've
if
got
you're
the funds for
just
this.
if you're just after fancy clothes, it will probably be like 10 GP.
Oh, really?
If you're not getting like improved stuff and you're not
Are you
getting
looking-
armor, it's just going to be cheap clothes.
Oh,
Not cheap
what
clothes,
in-
but
What improved stuff can I get in regards to clothing?
Yeah.
if you've got mage armor, you can't really.
Okay, fair.
But you can swap out mage armor, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh
but-
yeah, no, I
but-
can't. Mage armor is a permanent lock.
Oh no, that's
It's-
right.
it's
Your
a
mage
set
armor's
thing.
set. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not a problem. I can do that. It was more just I was curious if they did anything like keep you warm or cool or anything like that.
I always forget we need to roll like one wild magic a day because you cast mage armor at the beginning of each day.
No,
We never do that upkeep, and I feel like we're missing out on fireballs here.
There's always
Just
a
wait,
chance.
wait until I
Always
get
a
back
chance.
to the inn and I'm in proximity to Damian. I will get him.
Well, it happens at the beginning of the day, so
Cool. Rolling wild
So you're
magic.
always
baby!
You are all
Come
making
on,
sure that you are
Damian.
just within feet of Damian.
no. you're
Nope,
fine.
he lives to tell the tale.
I say Romulus is usually in Cat's room. I would have thought so. It'd be Romulus who's getting
Well,
incinerated.
you're on
times.
one big suite for when you're at the left ribs, so.
We're
Oh
all
yeah.
taking hits from that. We're all taking hits from that.
Uh huh.
Okay,
You'll get
so
10 to bolster
all right,
if you
I will
need to.
pay the 75 GP for the ink, and I will get some nice clothes made.
Okay. So it'll be 85 GP in total. Okay.
Ew.
Okay.
Hey, nice fit.
And we'll take a quick break there, and then when we come back, the whole party will have reconvened back at the left rib, and Damian will have a word with everyone. So, for the stream, we'll be back in just a moment. Won't be long.
Man, I'm wondering, maybe Mortar should have gotten his armor like dyed, like something quite dark. That'd be quite
Just
cool.
a little heads up, I might need to head off soon. I've got to go make sure my mum's,
Mhm.
fed
Sure
and
thing,
watered
bud.
for the
Yeah.
night, essentially.
That's fair.
Yeah, we
That's
can
fair.
pass it on to Chris for you, man. No worries at all.
Okie dokie. I'll try and stay on mute in the background for as long as I can, but I'm gonna have to bring stuff over to her shortly, so
That's
Of
fair.
course, bud.
I'll try and
How's
hang
she
out as
doing?
long as I can.
She's
She's doing
okay?
all right. After the surgery, obviously, she's feeling a bit tired, bit ill, a decent amount of pain, but everything is as expected. She's
Yeah.
doing all right for the most part.
Yeah.
She's been improving well over time, so that's really good. And it's just just making sure she's taken care of whilst we're away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thoughts and prayers for her, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all going well so far, so that's
Yeah.
really, really positive.
Yeah, the
Yeah, for
surgery
sure.
itself went well, and she's
Yeah.
been well. It's all fine. Right, I'm going to be right back.
Cool. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it could be Damian wants to talk about. Whatever could it be?
He's pregnant.
He's pregnant. We knew it. It was the horse the
Vinny.
whole time.
The horse. The
Oh.
It was the
horse
horse.
got him pregnant.
I'm
I'm
telling
back.
you, that magical
What?
night where he slept outside
And-
with the horse. I'm
And
telling
finally, the Damian see.
you.
Excuse me, what?
Oh, Damian and the horse. He's
Yeah,
pregnant.
we know what Damian's going to come and say to us, and it's that he and after a magical
Starlight.
night in the stables. Yes, after a magical night in the stables with Starlight.
A new Centaur is about to be born. Got it.
Oh no!
How do you think the
Damn,
first Centaur was made?
Yeah, okay, but
Except he's going to be born
Now,
with full
see,
plate
the
mail
first
and
Centaur
only
is
2
actually
horse legs.
really funny. It was actually a mermaid and a horse, and things got real weird.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the horse
I
fish.
joined in at an optimal time there.
yeah, the horse
Look,
fish.
So you know how horses are technically descended from whales.
Yes.
I didn't actually know that.
no,
You
neither did
know
I.
how
This is why horses
Uh,
have blowholes on their heads.
Fuck off.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
No, that's where they fire the horn for unicorns. They just fire a horn out at
Exactly.
people. It's a form of attack.
so
That's how they hunt
I'm
down their
getting-
prey.
I'm getting that. So it turns so some whales for a brief period were land animals, or some of them were land animals, and then they went back, or at least some of them went back, and that's how we have whales today. So what I'm suggesting is that whale mermaids eventually became proto-centaurs. Some of them decided to either stay in the water or go back into the water, but some of them stayed on land and they became centaurs.
Okay, I
I'm
think
not-
I need to lay
So-
down that moment
Yeah, I
when
was
I'm
gonna
sitting
say-
here thinking, right, okay, so horses are just land whales at this point.
Yeah, my brain
Yeah,
just
yeah,
went,
like-
oh, so what happened? A whale beached itself. 2 whales beached themselves. One went, oh, this looks nice. I'm going to go here for a vacation, turn into a horse. And then the other one was like, nah, mate, and then crawl back into the sea.
Honestly, half the time, as soon as
I
Harlan
mean-
opens his mouth, I know I'm going to be suffering stroke-like symptoms for the rest of the week. Every single week, I'm like, as soon as Harlan says something, I know I'm going to pass out. Like,
It's full of facts that sometimes I'm like, how? Why?
I mean,
Beasts, but
Yeah.
about
I'm curious.
2,000 or something.
But yes, so
Yeah.
are we missing anyone?
yeah, I'm just a quick
Vinny's
mention.
gone for a
I
drink.
am probably
Physically,
going to
I'm
head
here.
off.
bit early to look after my mum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Just letting you know that now.
Yeah,
I'll
no, that's fine.
I'll try and hang out as much as I can.
No, that's fine.
That's
We'll close out as close to 10 as we can. I mean, I've not had any planned combat for today, so we'll just have to see how things go. I don't know, you guys
No.
might decide to mug a shopkeeper. For no good
They're probably
reason.
going to fireball me and then have to fight the rest of the left rib.
Yeah.
We got everyone?
Are you missing Vinny still?
Yeah, he's just gone for a drink.
Well, from my understanding, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
Damian's going to be here. So if you guys pop back, which I'm sure you will at some point, Damian will possibly be a resource you can use for
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah, you can ask him for help, you can send him sendings, and he can transfer it on to other individuals. He'll be working in the Scriptorium, so he'll be able to help research things from afar if need be. So he'll be a contact that you can still use as a party. And
Okay.
when we get to like end game stuff, if you start recruiting allies, Damian is one that I will allow you to recruit. He won't necessarily be as leveled as you guys would be, but he'll still be, level 9 is nothing to scoff at.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he'll at least distract the enemy for at least one round.
It'll just be perfect fireball material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we could summon him, boom, right at the enemy, fireball, bam.
Well, I'm pretty sure paladins grounded up make very good spell components, isn't that right? Grounded paladin. Pretty sure that's a pretty rare spell component.
Yeah, Root of Paladin.
Oh, perfect. In that case, then. Okay. Damian, no longer party member, now component pool.
Mhm. What I will say, actually, it kind of requires Simon to be here for me to tell him that. So, never mind.
Yeah, that does seem like an important component.
Yeah. The player listening was the one I was going to be like, oh, I can tell him something real quick while we're waiting for the person to return.
Very good.
Oh, and I would still like to have a talk with you, Gino Filch.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so while you're otherwise...
Yeah, maybe if we do that first.
Yeah, I'll say while you're otherwise wrapped up in a blanket with a hot chocolate in front of you, Eugene and Filch otherwise just sat on the table. Filch is eating birdseed, Eugene is trying.
Trying. So I say, hey guys, the books here seem to think that all crows come from hell.
What? No, they don't.
Yeah, I know.
Not all crows come from hell, but all hell crows come from here.
Come from here.
Yeah, we all came from somewhere.
So you're not technically native to hell?
Kinda. Call us an invasive species.
I
See-
suppose I'm one of them now too.
Hey, look, the seagulls tried to take it, but, it's too hot down there for them.
Are there any other hell animals like that?
Armadillos and cats.
Ah.
Cats seem to like it down there. Armadillos, don't know what their deal is, but, they hang around and... I don't know.
In the books, there was something about there being two of something in every layer of hell. Would you know anything about that?
Two of something. Like... What do you mean by that? Two of something? You mean like people in charge?
That could be it. It seemed something special, and it was near the section about crows. If I'm correct on that, Chris. Or was
Yeah.
that a different...
No, that's
Okay.
correct. Huh. No, I'm not that I know of. I mean, there's always been two people in charge of each layer.
That sounds very sporting for hell.
Not really. It's full of backstabbing and trying to get your friend in, and then that person backstabs you because they got another friend who they like more.
Sounds like a headache.
It is. But, Lord of Crows has had a lot of that for some time. There's a reason he's in charge. He don't have any friends.
I can't believe you'd say that.
It's true. He has underlings. He doesn't trust no one. That's why he's in his position for so long. He's been there for what? Couple thousand years?
Sorry, back.
Welcome back.
4,000. How long
Yeah.
do they usually last in position?
Maybe 100 at most.
Ooh.
Except for Asmodeus. Asmodeus has been there since the dawn. We don't know how old he is.
Man, I really effed up messing about with Lord of Crows then.
He's just good at his job. Look, there are others too. Other individuals who have stayed in power for long periods of time. Most of them not necessarily die. They get repositioned. No, you can't stay in the position forever. Sometimes they need to be demoted. Somebody comes along there better for the job.
A Lady of Crows.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Wait, does this mean there are chicks of crows?
You're not there.
I know, but I must ask.
I mean, there's all kinds of weird things out there. There's Terror of Shadow. He's been around a long time.
Oh, nothing weirder than you, Eugene. And I give him a little head scratch.
Why are you giving him the head scratch? I was the one telling you all these things.
Oh, you want a head scratch too? I thought it would be beneath you, Filch.
Fair. He turns away, pouting.
Filch... No, I give Filch a head pat. A head scratch.
Good. He got a natural 20 on his intelligence.
Wow.
So he knew quite a bit. He paid attention to
Yeah, I
politics.
thought. Wow.
You need both the law and how to pout with a beak.
Yep.
It's very impressive. All said, he's a very impressive bird.
Let's see. What did Eugene roll? Eugene got a 19. He knows a lot, but he's
Ooh.
focused on trying to eat birdseed.
I help him. So he can tell me stuff.
It's like that bit from Moana when he's redirecting the chicken.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
You know anything, Eugene?
Not really, no.
That's what a 19 gets you these days, huh?
I
Chris?
mean,
Eugene.
I don't know if there are any others that haven't been mentioned. Most of them change often. I've only ever known the Lord of Crows.
You sound quite depressed, Eugene. Is everything okay?
Just indigestion.
What? He hasn't been able to eat the birds?
He's been trying to.
Oh, that makes sense. That will give you indigestion.
Will I kill Eugene if I let him have a sip of hot chocolate?
Find out.
Oh no!
Pops of the confetti. Yes.
Who would have known that hell creatures are allergic to hot chocolate?
Eugene, would you like to try a bit of hot chocolate?
Sure.
Okay.
Historically,
see.
animals and chocolate. Go
Okay.
well.
He
Yep.
drinks some of it. Doesn't seem to complain. He
Good.
enjoys it. Yeah, right. Hey, it's enough bad. This stuff's good.
Well,
Gonna have to get us this more often.
I'll do my best, guys. Alright, I'm good.
Alright. So, Vinny, just a general note, because you were the one who looked at the map with all the stuff on. The direction that you're going to be wanting to go will be west for about a day and a half worth of travel, and then you'll be heading southwest from there for about a day and a half worth of travel, and you should reach the small village.
Of Zif.
Yes, Sub-Zif. Which, for reference, is spelt Z-Y-P-H. Zif.
Of course it is.
What do you mean, of course it is? This is D&D. Nothing's spelt simply.
So, west for a day and a half, southwest for a day and a half.
Yep.
Perfect, thank you.
You can basically follow the mountains around. You just follow the mountain's edge of where it leads, and you should get there as well. Either way, it's about a 3-day journey, provided everything goes well. With the blizzard, it's going to make it a 6-day journey. Again, provided everything goes well.
If we wait for the weather to die down, then
Yeah.
we have a chance of getting there quicker. But at the same time, we may be waiting for ages, in which time we could have made it there.
Yeah, it's the gamble that you make. There'll be a
We'll see if
roll at the
anyone
end of
was
each
good at
night.
any good at-
Fairness.
Yeah.
Well, the trouble is, I suppose last time making our way back, we had the advantage of knowing, oh yeah, when we get back, we know we're going to be safe.
Yeah, we could
This
be walking
hand,
in
we
anyway,
definitely don't. Exactly, yeah. So it's probably safer to wait, or at least until it dies down a little bit. But we're probably going to get hit with bad weather anyway.
We can
Yeah.
ask around in the city and see if anyone has any means of predicting the weather.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see what we're in for at the very least.
Ovok'Gro
Yeah.
service.
Kinda.
If you roll a d20,
I mean,
a 1 in 20 chance, you will get the right weather prediction. Which is better than reality.
Honestly, yeah, for sure. I'll happily join anybody who wants to do that and look for someone who might be able to predict the weather.
19 times out of 20, it predicts hot sunshine, and they're like,
Yeah.
really? This is Ovok'Gro? What's wrong with you?
Okay, so as you know that information now, Vinny, Damian, the last of your party return. Cat and Mortar return together from the cold as they otherwise enter back in. Mortar looks significantly cleaner than before.
Cass and I are both wearing the sickest drip.
No, not yet, and he takes a day to make.
We will be wearing the sickest drip. But you
At
just
least
know.
he got dressed. You know.
Oh,
That's
I
true,
hope so.
Mortar looks very proud of himself. He's really not that bothered.
He did it himself.
I did it myself.
Mm-hmm.
What, got undressed and dressed?
Yeah.
Yes.
He even
I-
tried his own
I-
shoes.
I had completely forgotten how to do that. It's been so long since I've actually gotten undressed or undone my shoes.
No word.
But Damian, you wanted to say something.
Oh, God.
Epic segue.
So, I don't know if any of you guys noticed me go off briefly in the Scriptorium.
No, I was busy
I was-
fighting with books.
You were
I was busy
fighting with...
picking my nose.
Yeah, sounds right. Grins at Mortar.
Is that back?
Yeah,
There's
sorry,
another-
no, I got a bit carried away.
Mm.
There's a Knight of Paloon in the Scriptorium.
Okay.
And he's been waiting for a replacement for like 3 years. And he wondered if I was the replacement.
Oh.
Oh, the poor man. Or woman. Or person.
I wish to do an insight check on Cat. Was that sarcasm?
No, that was
Look like
I mean,
it sounded
insight.
so sarcastic. It sounded so sarcastic.
Fair. You can roll for insight. It's very low.
Well, yeah, it
Well,
was, really,
yeah,
it was
well-
low, yeah.
No, it was completely sarcastic as far as you've got in your head because it was genuine. But
Sort of frowns at Cat.
squints and frowns back. What?
Staring contest.
Don't, because I don't know if one of these eyes actually blink. You know.
Oh no, that's terrifying. I'm definitely going to lose this one. Looks away quickly. So, as apparently he's asked for replacements and they've never got down here, and I don't think for a while, if I'm going to be helping you guys with stuff, I'm actually going to be able to deal with Leo's whole shebang. Maybe it would be good if I stayed here and took him off duty at last, so he could become a relic knight. Although he's offered to take over Leo's task as a possible exchange.
But then you'll be stuck here, waiting years for people.
It's alright. I've got people who can move down and keep me company, and you guys will be in the area for a little bit. I can help you with information, perhaps. And you'll know where I am.
Close,
That's
but
true.
It feels a bit weird.
Mortar looks incredibly sad.
Oh.
Who's gonna babysit him?
Mortar nods.
Wait, I've been babysitting Mortar?
Yeah, when everything
Well,
goes
nods.
wrong, you're the one that gets the blame for it. You're like the legal guardian in this situation.
I probably should have
Mortar's
asked
head
Arcadia about this first.
Mortar
Oh.
cannot stop nodding.
It's the path that your road has ended up taking. And I hope I speak for everyone when I say we'll support you in it. But you will be mixed.
Yeah, I have to say, it's been a great comfort going into danger knowing that you've been there with us. But I mean, you're a knight, right? You got to where you are by always doing what you thought was right.
True.
So if
Always done my best with my duty.
you think this is what you have to do, then you have my support.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you.
This cat looks down. You can see she's clearly reflecting. You know, I suppose everyone has to draw a line of entry somewhere. I mean, after all this, gesturing to sort of like herself, is said and done, I'd like to go home to my family and end venturing, so I guess everyone has a stopping point. But if this is what you want, I respect it. I mean, hopefully you don't have a problem with me messaging you still.
Okay, I want to keep in touch with all of you guys.
Okay, well I'll make sure I'll send you a sending once a week the same amount I send to on Veki.
Which you definitely didn't forget for almost 2 weeks. Ahem.
Alright, one of them was the Aurora in my defense. But
Yeah.
I'll send you a message once a week and at least touch base with you. But
Yeah.
don't tell me about the path and everything. You can actually reply to it, okay? Because last time that was just weird.
Wait, last time?
Yeah, when you'd gone off for all a while, the first time Kat sent a sending, she sent a sending to Damian. He was like, the flowers are looking quite nice today. It's like Kat received Damian's inner monologue rather than actually a response.
She just got inner thoughts back.
Literally. So you can actually reply to them, like, use your words.
Can you test that now?
I can test it in half hour.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have to change my thing to the book. Attune to the book. Man, I need to pick up the spell so I don't have to attune just to use one spell. It's getting ridiculous.
Kirv?
I saw you leave before when I first arrived. And now I've gotten the chance to meet you and see how you affect everyone. And you will leave an empty space in this group. And I'm sure everyone will mourn it. But we all gotta go where we need to go. We all have destinies. Don't hold back for us.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Kirv. I'll need to go back to the Scriptorium at some point and talk to him and, yeah, sort things out.
Okay, well, do you want us to come with you? Like, see you off spiritually, if not literally.
Piss off! You're not part of the party any longer!
I will say my goodbyes now because it would be too painful otherwise, and not for any other timing-based reasons.
Romulus goes off to his room to cry after saying goodbye, and he couldn't bear being there tomorrow, as his boyfriend Damian will no longer be part of the party.
I want to make it very clear. At best, friends with benefits, and even then more like enemies with benefits. Like, not acquaintances.
Enemies with benefits.
Enemies with benefits.
What's his benefits? He's a meat shield. Push him to the front.
That's awesome.
Alright, I do gotta fuck off. Take care.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay. Okay. You will feel the weight of the moment kind of linger for that time. Some of you relaxed, others of you a little cold after the day of being sat in one place, reading books or going shopping and getting measured. You otherwise settle down for your long rest, unless there's anything anyone would like to do before then.
Okay, so with all of this that's happened, no, it's actually a thing. Kat is going to try and take her time to draw a picture of the party for Damian. I don't mind taking a point of exhaustion for this.
Okay. I'll say make me a sleight of hand or perception check. Your choice.
Oh. I think both of them.
Unless you're proficient with painters or scribes tools.
No, I'm calligrapher's tool.
Or calligrapher's tools.
Oh,
No?
I'm good with them.
No, calligraphy is... No, calligraphy
Writing.
is writing, yeah. So, no.
You can write our names well.
Yeah, I can do some real
I'll
nice
know
writing.
which scribble is which person.
What was it?
Yeah.
Sleight of hand.
And or perception, your choice.
Oh, what is my perception? My perception is -1, so that's not happening. Sleight of hand it is, baby. Alright. Okay. Roll. Oh, yes!
Natural 20.
Whoa.
Wow.
I will
That's
say,
+3.
I will say
send-off.
that will
What a
not give you a
freaking
point of
send-off.
exhaustion as you spend some time, you sit down and from memory draw the party. After hearing this conversation, Damian heads to bed a little bit solemn, kind of a moment of he's made a tough decision, as have the rest of you, but it's something that you all accept. You sit down and you draw the image of everyone. And you stow it in your satchel for now, for giving to Damian on the send-off. It's a very good drawing. So, who's taking first watch? If you're doing watch, or are you just going straight to bed?
I'll take
I'll
watch.
I mean, I'll be up, but my watch will be very distracted as I'm drawing.
Okay. Did you want to take first watch then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mortar will also be wanting to talk to Kat about what was found at the
Yes.
Scriptorium
Yes.
regarding Black Scorpion.
Yeah.
If there
So-
was anything found.
We'll say you take the first watch, then we'll have Romulus and then Damian do 2 separate watches. Because Vinny and Kirv can't take watches tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Mortar will, as usual, kind of post up by. You said there was like a window, but it's not like.
It's a balcony.
It's a balcony with large glass doors, yeah. It's currently snowed
Right,
to, not necessarily it's stuck, but there's snow on the balcony and it has been cleared off while you were out, so.
Awesome. I'm posted up at my usual spot there, and I'm kind of watching Cat draw, and I'm going, holy shit. Is that more magic you're able to cast?
No, this isn't magic. This is just.
Strongly
Hard.
disagree.
This is. I wish there was a magic for this, but.
I don't think you need it. I think you've more or less nailed it. Though I think Kirv has more abs. Like 12 more. I'm certain she has like a bajillion abs. Vinny needs more chin. He's got like a real square jaw going on there for sure. I don't know. My sense of perception's a little bit off. I probably shouldn't be holding a sniper rifle.
Just holding the sniper rifle, scope looking at the page, just like, oh yeah. You know, you should really be careful getting that gun out, you know. Oh, I did find some information in regards to your weapon. And she's not looking up from the paper, she's still drawing, but she's sort of like mumbling / talking to herself, so you might your weapon, it's a divine artifact. Do you remember the Comet Strikers?
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
being said. Yeah.
And they'd been awakened? Well, the image that I found in the book. He has slightly bigger eyes. The image that I found in the book, it's slightly different to the weapon that you're currently using. So I think you need to reawaken your weapon potentially. But it's a weapon that was used by. Give me a second. Where did I write this down? There we go. Yeah. It had a previous owner that was a murderer. He killed very many people. Yeah. It's very good at concealing. He must have let himself get found for the thing, but he had the weapon, but they lost the weapon. They have no idea where it went to. The creature that was flayed within it, hypothetically, no one's proved it, but they believe that it's a flayed deity.
Whoa.
And it's incredibly dangerous.
And who better than me to be using it?
So just be careful with it. Also, if anyone is found with the weapon, They are to be brought in because they want to inspect the weapon, and I can't vouch what they're going to do to you. So be very careful of who you point that to in the high echelons of the magic community.
Oh, please. If I ever met somebody from the magic community, I mean, in what circumstance would I ever meet someone of that high renown? Please, I'm like a scavenger and some devilish rogue type. There's no way I would ever run in those kinds of circles. So relax. Don't worry about it.
Cat says literally nothing, looks up, locks eyes with you for a couple of seconds, looks back down. Just not a word. You know. You know.
Yep.
Just be careful. I don't want anything happening to you.
Sure. Right.
But it is a dangerous weapon. But by the looks of it, you can unlock it and improve it. I don't know how you do that.
I'm wondering if, lieu of the information you've told me, if I should. It said it belonged to a mass murderer. What if the person who last had it became a mass murderer because they unlocked the weapon?
Your morals are a little bit grey, I will admit. But they've improved a lot. How about this? If we keep working on your weapon, because it is your weapon at the end of the day, if you can empower it and make it stronger, but you can control the weapon, then great. How about we work on your weapon as well, try and improve it, and if it starts corrupting you, we do an intervention. We stop it, or we help you. Or inform you at least. I mean, you're not alone.
Oh, I'm now very grateful that I'm aware of that. Since I've been in this group, I've been very grateful for that. I'm very sad that Damian's leaving. He was the first one of you guys I met, the reason why I met you. And to see him leave feels like part of the reason why I'm in this group is also leaving. It's strange. And, I don't like feeling. I don't like this feeling. I don't do this kind of shit.
No.
Not for me.
This is the second time he's gone, but at least this
suppose
time we know where he is, and we can still talk to him, provided he understands how to talk back.
It's probably best to let him do his journey. I mean, if I had to go, if I had to leave, and just to go, not make a big deal out of it. So, but yeah, that sucks. But in regards to the weapon, if I'm really hoping that's not the case, that if I do unlock it, I become a mass murderer. But on the off chance that I do, then I want you to put me down. I don't want there to be any talking. I want there to be literally just get me before I get you.
Sort of like she stops drawing for a second.
That's the way I've lived, and that's the way I want it to end. Is if I do reach that place of no return, I want you to kill me before I do something irreversible. And I've done some pretty terrible things, but if there is a chance that I will be corrupted by this, I mean, I've seemed to be holding it okay so far. I do a little flourish with it. Seem to be doing okay so far, but if it looks like things are going very, very badly south, you need to kill me before it gets worse. I'm not afraid of dying. I was born into a world where I was pretty much destined to die as soon as I was born into it. Then again, most people are, if you think about it, in terms of at least essential scale. But like, I shouldn't be alive. But I am. So me dying doesn't really change my status quo in any way, shape, or form, at least to me. So that's the way I want to go.
The cat kind of like wipes away some tears. It's like, you know, I kind of one of the few party members here, I believe, that I kind of understand. Okay.
That's why I'm telling you that. Because I know that everyone else here will make the moral argument of, oh, you're jumping to conclusions, but you gotta plan. You know, it's good to hope for the best, but you gotta sometimes prepare for the worst. And having that contingency, at least in my case, is important, because I don't know what I would do if I actively went out of my way to hurt one of you, let alone kill one of you.
Yeah, I feel every time I transform. Yeah, okay. I respect that. But that'll be a last ditch contingency.
Oh, for sure, you're not getting rid of me that easy.
We can say to you, we always will. And I'm not gonna let you go. I mean, we've started being friends now, so you have to put up with that, I'm afraid. Besides, you know what?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you in mine. So, yeah, no. Last resort, but we'll switch.
Fair. Deadline to get done.
That's looking really good now. Holy shit.
Thanks.
That's really impressive. Do you draw a lot?
Not lots and lots, but I do draw some things.
Wow. That's amazing. I like the little pose you got Vinny doing. That's really cool.
Even Starlight's in it. So she's looming over Damian. There's some like a lot bigger than Starlight is compared to Damian. Just
Mortar gives you a knowing nod.
Damian's
That would be
Absolutely.
challenging, given that currently Starlight doesn't kind of exist.
It doesn't matter. All right,
Starlight.
fine. I'm gonna draw a corpse.
Oh no! But it's a really good corpse.
It's a really
good
good
corpse.
It's
really
still
freaking good.
Everybody's sat down, and then Damian like looks at the picture and is like, "Oh, that's a really good picture." It's like, "What's everyone sat on?" And there's just a head of Starlight sticking out the other end. Like, "Oh no!"
The nightmare have spoken.
So, your watch goes by eventless, as you otherwise have nothing to watch for. It's a peaceful night. Blizzard, yes, but peaceful. In the hotel, the limit tiny hut is there for those who want it. You crawl back in, get some rest. Vinny and Kirv fast asleep. Romulus takes on the next watch. Otherwise, nothing happens on his watch. But Damian, go ahead and roll me a d10, please.
A D10. That's the green one, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many landmines Cat left for you?
Yeah. There's a secret fireball.
Wow,
like...
okay. Roll me 2d8. Let's see if the weather changes.
Oh, please.
Oh!
Yeah, you needed a 6. Well done. Oh no, you needed a 6 or a 7. But
9 is total.
a 9, okay. It's just loading.
Damian's parting gift. Have some decent weather.
Decrease weather scale by
That's
4
what we
over
need.
the next 4 days.
Sorry, what?
Decrease the weather scale by 4 over the next 4 days.
Nice!
What we needed. That's what we freaking needed.
So that means that the weather will go down to weather scale 5 within the next 3 days. Now, no additional rolls can be made during that time, so the weather is getting better for the next 3 days. So use that wisely if you do want to head out. It's not blizzarding territory, but it is still cold, which means that you won't be suffering as much vision loss. You'll still be suffering some, but your frostbite checks, those with fire resistance or cold those with cold resistance or are used to this sort of climate or wearing cold or wearing winter clothing won't have to make rolls at all. So I believe that will be the entire party will be unaffected by it.
Mm-hmm. And that means Cheney, Cinder can come back out.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, because the weather is below 9 now. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, so you won't have to worry as much about the frostbite. If it picks up again, then you will, but it will still mean it'll be difficult terrain because of the heavy snow you've previously had, but at least travel will be easier.
I don't think we can avoid that part.
No.
I think this is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, once it's no longer still blizzarding, clearing the snow will be much easier.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Minimum of the weather scale can go this far south is 3, so it will always be slightly snowing. But not always snowing. But not always blizzarding, sorry. So, you'll wake up the next morning. You'll have your round of food. If I forgot to say, Damian, if you wanted to cover this, because it makes sense, if you wanted to pay the 5 gold for the entire party to stay there plus food.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, 6 gold because you've got 6 party members, not 5.
Yep.
And that will cover food and drinks and lodging for all of you. Cool. As you gather up your things and head back to the Scriptorium. The next day, the doors are opened once again as you arrive in, and you send off the message to Dravis Lint.
Yep.
The party, otherwise overwatching this as the previous night, otherwise gives you a nod in thanks. So Yassane looks to the party, looks to you, looks to the party. Thank you very much for accepting this offer. It's a good burden off of my back, now that I'm able to travel free from here.
Yes. I'm glad to help you, and
Thank you.
this will be a new challenge for me. I look forward to it.
Yes, thank you. And thank all of you as well for accepting this offer. It's very kind of you to let your friend go like that.
If Damian says he thinks he has to, then I trust his judgment.
Hmm.
You said you're going to help him with some stuff?
Yes, I'm going to take on his oath for the time being to completion, if I can manage it.
If you need any help with it, get hold of Damian and he can get hold of us, potentially, or I'm going to send him a sending once a week. But I'm happy to try and help where I can.
Might be an idea. Well, if I need the help, I know who to contact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't be a stranger if we run into you on the road.
Of course.
Oh, Damian. I have a present for
Yes.
you.
Oh.
As Cat wrongs her hand alongside it. No, it doesn't really. I will fireball him one day. But,
Go ahead and roll me the wild magic for the beginning of the day and mage armor.
let's
Who
go.
knows? You might
God.
get it. No.
No. Okay, I will hand him over a scroll that's been tied quite neatly with a little bow. This is for you, to remind you of us.
I unhide a string and slowly unroll it.
You see a beautiful landscape drawing of the entire party standing kind of shoulder to shoulder, arms over each other's shoulder in a very welcoming manner. Everybody present, and everybody smiling, and a nice party photo, if you will.
Oh, thank you, Kat.
It's alright.
That's really
You're part
lovely.
of the family. You've got to have a family photo. I have one.
I'll have to get a frame.
Well, you're going to have plenty of time to do that, being in a city.
Very true.
But I'll be sure to send a sending as we leave the building so you can't hear, because I don't know how it works saying it to someone right in front of them. But I'll send you a sending, and you have a couple of words to just reply back. And if you know anyone that knows sending, I mean, they've shown that they do here, you can always contact us if you need anything.
Yes. Go ahead.
The headmaster standing nearby nods. I can get in contact if need be. I do know sending and have a means to contact, so you've given me your names and I know your faces, so I should be able to.
Okay. Oh, never easy saying goodbye to a member of the family. But it's not really goodbye.
It's something in a weird language called French.
Okay.
I'm lost.
Au revoir.
Oh.
It's not goodbye, it's just au revoir.
Selfish.
Come on, give me that one, give me the one, give me the one, give me the one.
Oh my word. So.
And I'm gonna step outside before the party part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna cast Find Steed.
Okay.
Oh.
You watch as, reforming from the snow, you watch as the snow begins to build up, it turns into almost these several large balls of snow building upwards as he does this. You watch as it begins to take form and shape. And you watch as a starlight is created from the snow itself. A living, breathing starlight. There is otherwise a loud neigh from Starlight as once again he is alive.
I still don't quite trust Starlight.
The Overlord is undefeatable. That's just how it
I'm
is.
going to use my ring to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Oh, hey,
Yes.
back.
Yes, I am. I don't know what happened. Everything went dark and now I'm here.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it.
Lol, you died, it's fine.
I what?
Yeah, Damian took care of you.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I'm sure that lapse in my memory isn't going to be a problem going down the line, so... Starlight comes over, starts sniffing around for the Granny Smiths you still have.
I don't.
They're on cat?
No, they got made into breakfast at some point.
Oh, that's right, they did. Come sniffing around for Granny Smiths. You don't have any. Starlight is upset, but you're glad to have Starlight back.
Yeah.
You otherwise say your goodbyes. You wave and walk off. Are you planning to travel?
before I leave, I'm going to quickly just say something to the headmaster as
Okay.
he's present thing. I gave one of your researchers, or one of your scribes, some information about a place called Frostacon.
Yes.
I don't mind you having that information, but can you please wait until we've checked it out, as it was our intel first?
Roll me a
I'll let
persuasion
you know
check.
what we find. And persuasion, oh god, I suck at persuasions too.
I'll tell you this now. You're trying to beat a DC 1, because I rolled a natural 1, plus 5, minus 5.
Cool, well I've got Tides of Chaos, so we have 2 chances of not goofing this. Well,
Natural
me.
20.
Yeah,
That-
good.
Oh,
That seems only fair.
Thank you.
I'll say I'll put a year timer on it. I know adventuring can be to and from multiple locations. So let's say if this isn't done by the next time the double moon comes around, we're going to check.
That's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Thank you for understanding and respecting. And look after him. He's a bit quirky, but he's just good kind of quirky.
Will do. Gonna give a nod.
Right. I'll give a nod and I'll head off. And as we walk away, if we're walking away, I'm going to cast Descending.
Okay.
I'll say, hey, Damian, this is the message. You can respond to this. Not an essay.
You hear cicadas in reply.
It's just as empty-headed as I thought.
Sending to Starlight, my overlord.
As a bead of sweat rolls down Cat's forehead, and just sent into Starlight. Starlight, keep an eye on Damian, please. You can
Nay.
reply. Literally, you just hear this whispering as she's talking to this book. You just like, oh my god, it replied.
Nay.
Oh no. I knew it. I got more of a response from a horse than I did Damian. The horse really was the overlord.
Oh my word.
I think as we all go to walk away, Mortar will kind of wait for a little bit longer, look at Damian, and then hold out a hand for a handshake.
Damian takes a hand. Stay safe. Be good.
I can promise one of those things will happen.
No, you can't! No, you can't! You can't promise
Absolutely
either!
can. I can 1,000,000% guarantee one of those. You
But
two
not at the same
take
time.
care of yourself.
Yeah, not the
No,
same
no,
time.
no. I can only do one thing at once, and I can't even do that well. Yeah, just look after yourself, man. Don't be a stranger.
I'll be here.
Shakes the hand and punches you on the shoulder, immediately regrets it because you're in full plate and walks away.
Okay. As the party walks away, leaving Damian in the Scriptorium on his new duty, and with the party knowing the weather is going to get better over the next few days, thanks to some well-timed fortune, the party prepares to set out once more, buying any last-minute supplies they need for the journey in case they're running low on rations, and then they continue and collecting their clothes before they continue on their journey and go from there. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will be back next week. Thank you very much for watching, and we will miss you, Jamie.
Oh man, not gonna be the same without you, bud.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you next week. Bye.
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 Bye.